Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge Relationships Toxic Tuesdays, home on the unprofessionals right here. Uh,
the home of the low lives.
Yeah, scumbags and all that, however you want to call us. But it's your boy M3, man, and we got a sophisticated jerk in the building. What up, jerk?
Chilling, man. Ready to get to it, man. Like we definitely got a good topic here, man. So yeah, I was watching Lapeef, I think it was a couple weeks ago. And I saw, this I like how he breaks up his topics and stuff. Very professional, man. I like how he does his shows, but they had a pretty good segment where they were talking about submission and stuff like that. And so the one young female, I think her name is Callie Living. She was pretty much on the tip of like, hey, I'm willing to work with, my man, because I understand, like, hey, we got to build up to a certain point. And man, you had two bum ass chicks on there.
Oh,
pretty much like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You're a lawyer. You're just staying there. It's, just sounding all bitter and fucked up and shit. So, she was like giving them pushback. But man, I think it was a great dynamic because it just showed like, her being level-headed and, it's like we all been in, church and stuff like that. So we talk about it sometimes, a virtuous woman. So she was showing signs of that. And the other two females, since they were like jaded, probably been through a bunch of dicks in their life, so they had that bitterness and all that. So yeah, they was giving her like pushback, sounding straight gold diggerish.
Oh shit! Okay, jerk. I mean,
man, it was some good clips, man. So yeah, because you hear so much of like me type stuff where when she was talking, it was like, damn, it was like a breath of fresh air because she held her position, so it was like 2-on-1 and stuff. So I thought, man, it's a great clip. But yeah, she was holding her ground, man. So I think, man, as guys, we see good behavior, man. We definitely gotta, call that out. We do call out bad. We do, but it's like when we do see somebody, standing up and giving pushback, man, we do gotta rep that. We gotta be like, hey, man, this is what a good woman sounds like.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. And I think that's highly important, man, to really take the time to acknowledge that because, in most podcasts, man, like, they always look for, the bad in every woman, but there's also some good as well, too. And when you actually find like that, I guess that virtuous like type of woman, you want to make sure that you actually like give her some type of praise.
Definitely.
Put that highlight on her. So most definitely.
But yeah, man, let's go ahead. We'll jump into the clips, man, because there's two of them. So I think they're like 9 minutes a piece, and it's a good like back and forth. We'll stop it in between, a couple segments and definitely do some breakdowns.
All right, yeah, definitely for sure. Now, make sure that 1 second. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. All right, now my screen might be off like every now and then because tis the season, man, to like have like fucked up allergies. So it is what it is. But your boy's gonna hang in there. So
real quick, if you look on the top row between Trust Move and Marcus White, yeah, that's his name. That's Callie. That's the one she's pretty virtuous, where she's got a level head, and the one on the bottom to the left, and it's always a light-skinned chick that be fucked up, making us all look bad and shit. Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't know what's up with these light-skinned girls, man. Goddamn, that gotta be fucked up. God, I'm over here trying to make the light skin come back, and here she is with this goddamn gold digger shit. I'm like, damn. Setting us back 1,000 years, man. But yeah, the one on the bottom left. Whew.
Oh, damn.
Cautionary tale, dog. That's what it is.
Hey, well, fair use, man, as always. Shout out to the Lapeef Network for this type of content that we're going to react to.
Yeah, shout out to JR, man. I'm going to have to pull up, man. I got my schedule together.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Oh, Let me see Bruce on here too though. So shout out to
Yeah,
Bruce.
Bruce be on there on Thursdays, man. Yeah, that's still the homie.
Mm-hmm.
Had to cook him up a little bit.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, man, let's go ahead, man. We're gonna see what happens.
The other side. So you are obviously you're observing that person is way more fortunate than the circumstances that you are in. So I'm just calling out what I'm seeing and hearing. I get that you think that I'm trying to attack you. Relax, because I already see that you're like moving up to the mic because like you're already being reactive. No one is coming at you for the way you choose to live your life and the way you choose to like get it. All I'm saying is there are other options.
Look at Kelly up there.
And that's okay.
That's straight. That is gaslighting if I ain't never heard it.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired now, and you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
No, but you can't gaslight somebody. And you have done that.
Weed, and I'm gonna go lay down.
I'm sure you will.
Let them gaslight. We just saw what the hell happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna gaslight.
Well, you tell somebody tells you I'm happy, and you tell them I'm not. You're not happy. That's
girl, you're not happy being broke. You just said that.
Yeah,
you already see the mannerisms, like.
Yeah,
because they had some dialogue before that, but and we're gonna play the other clip because that's when they were really going back and forth. But I wanted to show this one because it's just like, man, that's her personality, man. And the one on the bottom where it's just like, because their whole kind of take is them type of chicks like, if you want me to be submissive, you got to pay for my shit. But it's just like clearly when you see their mannerisms and how they interact with people and they're always triggered. Because I mean, every panel she doesn't leave like, she's like, I'm gonna leave damn near 20 times and shit. So it just shows like if she don't get her way, she can't handle a lot of pressure. She's gonna like check out. But this is her natural damn state. Like, and this is why I always like pointing out this to guys where they be believing this dumb shit. And this is why I give like the provider shit a lot of pushback. I'm like, man, if they ain't submissive from the jump, when they willing to work, when they got to work with you and stuff, and even through tough times, they ain't submissive at all. If you believe this girl, because you pay her bills, she gonna submit, you a fucking idiot.
Double damn.
Because she can't even sit on a panel and take a couple of criticisms. You think she could, when you got to get some constructive criticism in a relationship, she gonna sit there and be able to take that, man? But yeah, they pulled up the other old chick that was giving her some pushback, so she just came in there. So yeah, it's about to go down. But shout out to Callie. She up there holding her composure. She's like, I hate these old hoes.
Oh shit,
Callie, we need you to go in. Callie, if you watching, I need you to start cussing on these panels. I need you to go in on these brides. Be like, man, I hate these old hoes. But nah, Callie, she man, she kept her composure, man. Responses very articulate. So nah, I was impressed, man. But we get into it, man. I just had to stop right there because yeah, her mannerisms, man. I'm like, God, can't stand.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at Kelly up close right now. I'm like, she look like she's like in her young 20s. Like she looked like she could be like at least, I want to say from 23 to 25.
I think I think she said she's in her maybe early 30s or late 20s, but very mature, man. Definitely mature for her age, man. But man, when she starts speaking, man, that's what I'm saying. You're like, damn, that's a good woman right there.
Mm-hmm. I see someone else kind of popped into the chat, well, to the panel.
What's up, Melissa?
I don't know who that woman is, but we're gonna go find out. And then shout outs to Melissa. Big love to you as well, family. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like and share the videos and subscribe if you have not. But again, it's all love and reaction to this video. So,
but shout out to Sweeney too, because I like how he was like calling her out about her gaslighting. Because like pretty much when Callie was stating her position,
Sweetie,
Andrea, I forgot, I think that's her name. But yeah, she was just like pretty much like trying to reinterpret what Callie was saying and stuff. So that's what he's like, man, you gaslighting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and then you trying to like cut out. Try to have like your final say into it because you're about to get cooked.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we go ahead and jump back in, man. Yeah. We're gonna pause and break it down every once in a while, but we'll let it play out more.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Oops. Go ahead and continue.
That person is not.
I thought you had to go.
I said I wasn't fortunate to grow up with fortune. I wasn't fortunate to grow up that way. That doesn't make me not happy
not
because
I
said I wasn't fortunate.
That's not what you said.
I'm gonna lower my tone because I'm not gonna yell. I stated to you, I said I wasn't fortunate enough to have a certain thing, to have a certain lifestyle, to have a certain way. That does not mean I'm not happy because I'm not fortunate to have something. I'm not fortunate to have $1 million. Am I going to sit here and cry and be like, oh, poor me, I don't have a fucking $1 million? I'm not fortunate to sit here.
When you say I'm not fortunate, you're inferring that you're unfortunate. Do you not see how you're wording things? You're saying if I meet a man and he tells me to put down my wallet, I will gladly and happily do it. But I haven't found that yet. So you're kind of being disingenuous in this conversation. You're inadvertently telling us, hold on, Sweeney, put down your cape. I get it.
Any of that works.
I get it. Calm down, Sweeney. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Let's do a quick pause. Shout out to Great Pill.
What's good, Great Pill?
You know, Great Pill kind of came in just in time, man, because he could probably help us to kind of decipher this. Is there a difference, chat, between the statement, okay, when you're saying, hey, I am not fortunate, let's just say I am not fortunate to have a luxury house. Let's just say an example. Does that equate to saying that, man, I am so unfortunate? Again, I'm not fortunate versus I'm so unfortunate. Is there like any difference between that? Does it equate to that? Because I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all.
Yeah, I think the way she phrased it, she was just kind of saying, hey, I'm not in that position. Now, she's not dumb, you know, just like, you know, anybody else. Like, hey, man, I would love to be have an influx of some cash, but I'm not gonna pout about it. I'm not gonna be sitting there mad at life because I'm still gonna be able to enjoy the moment regardless what I have. But I'm not, you know, blind to or oblivious to understand that I might, if I had some more money, then that's gonna be a good situation. But what's really happening is like she's just got a positive outlook on life where she could recognize stuff without, you know, feeling a certain way. But when you got people that are kind of bitter because they're lacking of something, so it's kind of like I said that they're pouting, like I don't got this, so you know our guys can't do this for me, they ain't shit. Where she's looking at it totally different, from a different spectrum of like, hey, that would be nice, but I'm not holding out against somebody if they don't have that. You know, it's just more or less like a luxury item type thing. Like, hey, it's a nice to have, but it's not the end of the world. I'm still gonna be a pleasant person to be around and stuff like that. But what they're kind of exhibiting, and this is where they're giving her pushback, and they don't understand her perspective because this is how they think. If I don't get my way, I'm wilding out. Everything's fucked up. The sky's falling, you know. So that's where they don't. This is really what's happening. They're projecting onto her, where it's just like, hey, you're not acting like us, so you got to be really feeling down and stuff like that, because that's how we would feel. So when she's just positive, they're just, you know, they escalate it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like what Great Pill said, right? As he was breaking it down, because it doesn't, but it depends how it's phrased, right? I was saying I'm not lucky enough at the moment. He says another example. I'm not fortunate enough to have a good wife like Jerks ... at this moment. Yes, and in addition,
Great Pill, Great Pill about to get they coming for you, Great Pill. That's a solid brother.
Yeah, and Great Pill, man, he's definitely one thing. Great Pill's good for, man. Like he knows how to, you know, break shit down, man. Just
definitely, he one of the best out here. I told him that a long time ago.
So definitely make sure you guys subscribe to his podcast right here, the Great Pill Podcast. You know, what I will say in addition, right now, since the other person want to make it seem like by her saying it is saying you're unfortunate, an example where it could be unfortunate is that, well, let's say for instance, you had a wife or you had something but something happened where now that particular person may have passed, or you lost out in the relationship, or something just unfortunate. Then I can say in a terrible phrase, okay, I was unfortunate because I had something that was attainable, but now I don't have that anymore. But I think the reason why they try to use that term against her, because again, they're just trying to make her look sound bad, and she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's that what you're saying, and man, I'm telling you, when people are bitter and they're on that spectrum of like kind of how they see the world, where it's just like coming from like that dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they feel everybody's got to have the same emotions and feelings and thoughts like they have. So that's why I'm saying they're just projecting, really, because when they're hearing her talk, they know that's kind of the right thing, but since they're doubling down on their position, so that's why they're giving her so much pushback. That's why the other one had to jump in, and just even how she was handling herself in the beginning, she's like, hold on, okay, let me tone my voice down, and then she broke it down to him. That got them even more worked up, because they're like, oh shit, okay, yeah, she's articulate, she ain't backing down, she's holding her position. I know this is the right position I should be having in life, but since I'm fucked up, let me double down on my position. So yeah, they're, like you said, they're trying to misuse what she's saying, and they're like, that's what Sweeney was like, hey man, y'all gaslighting like a motherfucker, because that's really what they doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna continue the video.
Just pass the tea to.
You did cut her off. You know that, right?
Hold on.
Let her
did cut her off.
Let me finish.
Yeah, let her finish, and then the Kelly responds.
So all I'm saying is that I'm just listening to this young lady. I'm seeing the energy, and what she keeps saying is, hey, this is not something that I've been fortunate. Now, pay attention to the wording. I am not fortunate to experience. I would like to experience this. If a man comes in my life and he tells me that I can put my wallet down and lay my worries down, I will happily do it. But you guys have selective hearing. This young lady would like to be blessed with a real leader, real masculinity, not performative masculinity. And I yield.
Okay.
Kelly, is that what you said?
So listen to this,
Pause
right?
real
Since we're
quick.
speaking on technicality.
Hey,
Not
M3,
being
pause
fortunate
real
in the
quick.
sense of lacking money, opportunities, or material things does not.
We might have to go back a little bit because I didn't want to interrupt but you see how the one on the bottom that just came in, and see, this is why I give guys a lot of pushback about the provider stuff. I don't really care if you guys do provider. I think if a female earns it, she, like I said, invest in you, and then you reward her with like provision. That's how it should happen. You don't just open and damn near throw your wallet at somebody, and that's what too many guys do. And that's why they always getting, took to the cleaners and shit. But just listen how she pretty much put provision, and this is how a lot of these type of women, they see provision as like, oh, you're only a real man if you do this for me. And this is what I always tell guys, man. They're dictating the terms. If they're dictating the terms to you, you're not in a leadership position. You can lie to yourself all you want to, but if you're sitting there, you're doing it because you feel like, we was even talking about it on the last live. If you're doing this stuff because you're scared of like the response you're gonna get from her, you're a worker. You're a worker, B, and that's pretty much how she's phrasing it. But she's still trying to twist it and put that back on Callie, like, oh, when she said it like this, oh, she's just she wants that so bad, and you can hear it. So they're trying to place themselves on her. So I just wanted to kind of point that out real quick, how she was like breaking down provision, like tying it to leadership, like, because like I said, their whole position is like, the only way I'll follow you is if you pay for all my shit, which is it undercuts leadership, because it's like damn near like, hey, you got to pay me for my submission like a fucking mercenary or some shit. so yeah, this why I always be pointing out to guys, like, if a female talk like this, you ain't never gonna have submission. Good luck. She gonna be the first one calling that lawyer up, taking you to the cleaners. Like, you're gonna be like Tyrese crying at the courthouse. But all right, we get back to the video, because yeah, I know she about to cook.
Yeah, so I kind of went back just a little bit for you.
Okay.
Kelly, is that what you said?
So listen to this, right? Since we're speaking on technicality, not being fortunate in the sense of lacking money, opportunities, or material things does not automatically mean a person is unhappy. Happiness is deeper than just circumstances. People who aren't fortunate by society standards can still experience gratitude, joy, and peace. Just because one states that they are not fortunate does not necessarily mean that they are not happy. It means that it would be nice, sure, but that does not define me being happy, because I have been happy in relationships where we didn't have much. And honestly, I've been in a relationship where someone had a lot of money, and that also comes with a lot of problems, which is why the saying goes, more money, more motherfucking problems. So at the end of the day, for me,
hit it with the Biggie line.
What I want and what I desire does not define my happiness. My happiness is through the creator of all, which is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That is where my happiness comes from. Everything else can contribute to that, but it doesn't define that. So if I'm going to find, I'd rather have for me, what I value is someone that is genuine, that is faithful, that is loyal, and that is willing to do what it takes for us to get to where we're going. And he might not be there today, but damn sure he will be there tomorrow, because he desires that. That is what he's going to do. And if there's anything we know about men, when a man puts his mind to something and he truly wants something, he's going to get it just as much as a woman. And as far as me and my situation, I am happy. I am happy and I am blessed. My family is alive. I am alive. I am happy. Just because I say, oh yeah, that would be cool. It would also be cool to sit next to freaking, I don't know. It would also be cool to sit next to Eminem and chop it up with him and ask how he came up with his stuff. Does that mean I'm not happy because it would be cool to do that? Girl. Well, I'm dead. Eminem's my favorite rapper. It would be dope to go ahead and hang out with him.
That's my favorite rapper too.
Hold on, wait. Name one good Eminem record that you want to hear in the club. I'm tired.
I don't know about that Eminem.
As soon as Stan comes on, my tears gone cold. I'm wondering why. Girl, I'm bopping to that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Never listen to a person that says Eminem is their favorite rapper.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, now I was cracking a little joke because I wanted to kind of liven it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, truly, you guys, let me say this. I get what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying. If I don't have to do something, why do it? My answer to that, and this is just respectful, you guys are beautiful ladies, and I love what you believe in, and I love how passionate and strong you are within feminine womanism, and I will never tear another woman down, nor will I sit up here on this panel and disrespect you. However, just what I believe in is what it takes. Whatever I have to do for us to get to where we're going in the relationship, I am willing and incurable to do that. And that is not going to make me less happy, because my happiness comes from a different place.
Okay,
you just
that's
help
wonderful. We all do that, right? As moms, we all figure it out.
Yeah.
We put it together every single day. We make
real quick.
Cooked them.
With like a little bit of Eminem, right? You know.
She lost me with the Eminem shit. Like, definitely a good rapper, but double what? Callie, we got work on that. I'm gonna send you a catalog over there. But nah, man, you heard how she was talking and shit? Mm-hmm. She cooked their ass up. Kept their composure. She was like, hey, let me define happiness for you old hoes.
Yeah, I like that, man. And I mean, besides like her saying like, Lord Savior Jesus Christ or whatever, I almost felt like that was almost slightly kind of scripted, right?
Took you back to church, huh? You felt like you was in the front seat passing the plate and shit, huh?
Right. I ain't give up my offering though. You feel me?
But I could tell she's spiritual. But I mean, that's the definition of like a virtuous woman. How she broke it down. It's like, hey, like hell yeah, I would like to have a simpler life, but I'm willing to put that work in with somebody. That's the craziest thing, because that's how you grow into success. And then the two chicks on the bottom, they're like, not only am I gonna meet you at the finish line, I'm get a little bit past the finish line and I'll meet you there. Where she's like, hey, I'll go through that growth process with a guy. And that's actually how you're gonna get to success. And I think a lot of women think, okay, man, I'll meet the guy at the finish line and he's not gonna be that attached to you if that happens, because you typically see when those situations happen, I think those people divorce a lot quicker. A guy's doesn't really have that much loyalty to you because you came at the end of it, so you don't get that genuine I think connection when you just try to beat the process and you don't want to put no work in on it. And I think Callie, the way she's gonna do it, she's gonna be the one that actually gets the right relationship, because typically the females on the bottom, they'll get boyfriends because they're not ugly. But it's gonna always be those rotations, like 1 to 2 years. You see them, it's a damn rotation. Like every time you talk to them, well, you know, we were engaged, but they'll make up some excuse that it always is the guy's fault. He had he was financially abusing me. Then he was cold. There's going to be therapy or some shit. So that's how they always rotate out. So I'm sorry, I cut you off, man. I know you was about to say something.
No. But no, one of the biggest takeaways is that it's the way how she described about, look, the money part, that will come later. Like, she's not even worried about that. She worried about like the character of the person, which attracts guys like the most. When guys hear that, matter of fact, that's all really like a guy will really want to hear. Like, hey, you're not really like, you know, here for me. Like when I'm just successful, you're gonna be here for me like as I'm building. If a woman is willing to build with a man, again, through his progress or whatever, hey man, he's gonna be more inclined to stay with this person, no matter what happens. Like think about like Ja Rule and his wife. Ja Rule just celebrated, I think, a birthday or anniversary between him and his wife for like so many years, man. I know it was definitely like some decades for sure.
Yeah, and for me,
a lot of weight, so social media was pretty much like roasting her. But Ja Rule sticked around and he stayed, man. Like, you know, through the ups and downs, man, he's still faithful towards her. And the reason why he's faithful towards her, because even when he was in a situation where 50 Cent pretty much destroyed his career, and he probably was damn near broke, she still stayed with him. You know what I mean? And for sure she was in the process of him like building to be like this hip hop sensation where he was. And dudes like that don't forget about that type of stuff.
No, that's a good point, man. I was on Instagram the other day, and it was like I can't remember the producer's name. I wish I would have wrote it down because I was trying to find the post again. But he said he was broke as a joke, and his wife pretty much had the job at the time when he started writing, I guess, some of the movies, the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
So she bought him like his first software to produce like movies and stuff. It cost $300 because he was just flat out broke. But now he's like winning Oscars and stuff. You know, he's winning, you know, the top movie awards and stuff. So it just goes to show you, man, when, you know, a lot of people, I just wonder how many good men they end up, you know, getting rid of because they ain't that finished product. But like, I would love to go look back in people's lives at some of the people that they passed on, and those guys are probably like ultra successful now. But you know, since they don't want to go through that process with somebody, it's just like you're passing up good people. Because you know, it's just like me and my wife. It's funny because she had a friend that had a mindset like this, and she was talking to her, and the lady was like, "Oh, I can't work with no guy. I couldn't do what you do." And my wife was like, "Shit, me and my husband, we." You know, we rich, you know, we wealthy and stuff. And she was just like, y'all are dumb. Like, because the female was around the same age as my wife. And she was like, look, man, you're by yourself doing this all by yourself because you keep pushing off guys and stuff and you're struggling. You know, she's been struggling like her the whole damn life because she just had that mentality. It's like all or nothing. And so like she's sitting there looking at my wife like how she grown, and she's like, damn, you know, maybe I did fuck up. And I just wonder how many people are like that. It's just like, man, you're so fixated on that checklist that you built up in your mind and stuff, and you're pushing all these people, but some of them guys probably went and became like millionaires and stuff, and you know, once they move on, so it's not like they probably gonna know all the details and stuff. They probably just know like, hey, they're doing pretty good. But when you start digging in, man, people missing out.
And shout out to your homeboy Manic Genius, man. He's tuned in on from Facebook Live. He said, "What up, Negroes?"
What's good, Manic?
Shout out to Manic Genius, man.
That's the homie.
The other half of Manic Sophistication.
But yeah, let's jump back in this video. But nah, she did a good job breaking down. I like how she broke down the happiness, man. So yeah, that's why I said you hear that, man. You can even see the guys on the panel. They're like, oh shit, this is a real one right here.
Yeah. We do have a question real quick. Melissa says, so what do you recommend falling in love with someone's potential self?
It just, I mean, potential could be good and bad. So, I mean, if you say like you analyze somebody, you meet them, you have to look at the actions if they line up. So say if like you're going to college and you meet somebody there and they're like, hey man, I want to be a CFO or something like that. Okay, if they're, you know, are they going to the accounting classes? What grades are they getting? Are they timely? So if those actions are lining up, you know, they're doing research on like the top companies to go and they kind of like laying out that plan to you, then that's the potential you should align with, you know. But if somebody say like, he's like, hey, I want to be a CFO and my man is drinking all the time, he's barely passing classes, you know, he ain't doing no research. You're like, hey man, where do you see yourself after you get out of college? Where you want to try to work at? He's like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna get a job. That you don't bank on that potential. So I think a lot of times when we use the word potential, we're not, you know, people should have their path laid out because ambitious people, I'm telling you, like it. I remember when I just got out the military, I already had my life planned out like 5 or 6 years. I knew I was gonna make it. And so like, if you ask my wife, she'd be like, man, this dude had his shit checked off. He was gonna go down this way. And of course you could pivot on plans, but you know, I had a long-term plan for myself that I was like, I'm gonna get it. So I think people that, you know, are ambitious, they looking at it that way. So most of the people, that's what you need to look at. Like, hey man, what's that plan look like? Where you see yourself in these years? And somebody that got their shit together, they're gonna be able to spit that out. Like, hey, I want to go over here. If I don't make it over there, then I'm gonna try this other firm out. But yeah, I think potential, you get the right person, like I said, it lines up. I just think that's the best route you should go if you want to build that deeper connection. But M3, you gonna start the video back up?
Yeah, for sure. And shouts to Yola.
Make it happen. That goes without question. That's built in as a woman. But why are you striving for that? There's a difference between being able to do something and striving for something. Oh, don't get upset, Darwin. Hold on. All I'm saying is that it's a serious difference, right? Between saying, you know what, I can deal with this. We can deal with anything. Shit. People adjust to jail every day. People have adjusted to slavery. It doesn't mean that it's a circumstance that they want to be in. It just means that you can endure. But why would you pick that for yourself? That's all I'm saying. And even in my situation, when me and my fiance, when we get a house and we do all the things and I'm contributing, that's not a problem. I don't mind contributing, but I'm never going to go into it a mindset like, I'm going to wade in the water. I'm never going to go in with that mentality because my man is a masculine man. Period.
Imagine if your man came
in the water for nobody, babe.
Imagine if your man came on this
pause again, M3.
And he started to.
But you see, man, the female on the bottom, those two, man. And this is the sad shit when I see guys that get with these type of females, because even though she said she had a fiance, she is literally equating working with her man to slavery. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, they always do that. You know, it's kind of manipulation, because that's why I said they always try to tie like you damn near being a slave to masculinity. So that's why I hate when guys echo this shit back, because it's like, man, you're echoing back a female construct to manipulate your ass. You know, because they sit there, they're like, oh, I want a masculine man that lets me do whatever I want, and you go out and you damn near slave yourself to give me the luxury. Because it's not like they just want the basics. If you think like females like this that just want, you know, the simple lifestyle, to stay at home with the family, and you know, you might have to sacrifice some things, they ain't talking about that shit. They talk about luxury. Like, they're like, you better make all this shit happen. So yeah, she's equating like masculinity to like slavery and stupidity. And man, when guys take this shit and run with it, that's why I'm like, man, y'all, yeah, shout out to Yella and the okey doke. And guys be sitting there, they be like, oh, you know, I'm masculine, I do this. I'm like, man, you following a female construct of new age slavery, dog. Come on, man, knock it off. That's why I give it so much pushback, because, man, I don't want guys out here sounding emotional, weak, and gullible like that, man. So that's pretty much like she's painting the whole picture. And that's the funny part, because, you know, they be like, oh, why are y'all saying y'all don't want broke women? Or it's because of this. You know what I'm saying? You got females with this mindset. Ain't no guy trying to be used, man.
Yeah, see, the problem is, man, the guys who don't really understand the concept of, you know, femaleology, of course, like, they're going to always want to conform. They hear that type of message and they're like, oh, shoot, I got to get my stuff together. So if I get my stuff together, then this person will like me. I need to be successful, but I need to do that for the woman so I can get the most quality women as much as possible. But when you take the looks out of everything, and you just really see things like from a personality lens, bro, most of them are like a broken record, okay? I'm not talking about like all these other women or whatever, right? But I'm just talking about every woman that talks like this are nothing but the same. They offer no value. They're plain, they're boring. And then when you really, really like kind of look at things in life, what the fuck do they really offer? Absolutely nothing, you know, but to suck you dry. And some of them think that their sex is going to be good enough to keep you. And most of the time the sex is trash, man, because they didn't really want you to begin with. They wanted your resources so they could get that come up. The thing is, like, with people like her, this is why you have a lot of these old women that keep failing at these type of relationships. Because again, yeah, you want the finished product, but when a man hears something like that, you have to understand, the same way you feel obligated by expressing your choices, your wants, it's the same way that you cannot be surprised and flabbergasted when a guy says like, well, okay, cool, I'm successful, but I don't want your broke ass. You know, I'm successful, but I want women like Callie. Then what?
Yeah, like, this is why I promote jacking off. You shouldn't be with any female like this. Like, man, tug one off. You might have the urge to be like, hey, man, she look good. The girls on the bottom, like the unruly ones, man, go rub one off, man. I'm telling you, man, don't go down that path, man. Get you a good chick. That's why I always say, man, there's good women out here. So I ain't one of them guys. Oh, there's no good. No, there's good women, man. Like, stay away from the ones on the bottom. It's like they soul is gone, man. When they start talking like that, man, they got that trauma from like I said, being in the streets too long. That's what happened. It's almost like each guy that they don't get their way and that dude like rotates out of their life, it takes a piece of their soul with them. So that's when you hear that bitterness like that, man, you don't even play with it. You see what happened to Shannon Sharp, right? Female trying to hit him for like the 50 million. And that's why I'm saying, man, guys keep on going down this trap. That's why I'm like, man, don't mess with no chicks that really don't like you, that's not willing to invest in you, man. That's why I say this shit. I'm like, man, because these are the type that hit you with that charge, like try to get their come up, try to get that cash out. Yeah, so they just sinister. Look at the one, she down there just like, I seen a Gray Pill Cottage. She waving her hands and body movements, just tell all signs of an unruly chick.
Yeah, man, like just straight throwing them like gang signs, man. I'm like, what?
Yeah, she's her neck snapping out there. But go up to that comment. I like the one Quantum said, because she was like, yeah, as a woman, I damn sure not signing up to be used either. No to mental slavery from both sides. And I agree, man. I think too many times now that I just see in so many, it's almost like everybody's coming to take advantage of the person. And it's almost like, especially if you walk down the aisle with somebody, you man, that's the biggest title you put on somebody, husband or wife. So you shouldn't be coming in there to take advantage. It's like, hey, man, we both build. You know, we both could hit heights. You know, that's how I kind of came out of my relationship, because, you know, I grew up around a lot of traditional relationships that just didn't work out. You know, So I was just like, hey man, I talked to my wife. I was like, let's do something different. Cause you know, she came from a home. Her mom was a single mom and stuff. You know, my parents got divorced and stuff. My mom was out there struggling and stuff. So I was just like, hey man, we both could build up. And if something happens, you know, we do it the right way. We still could be in a great, you know, capacity, man. We ain't gotta like dim each other's light, you know, just to kind of do things they did in the past, man. Let's take the good things from them, but we could modify it and both excel, man. And I think in a lot of these relationships, this is like, hey, man, how do I gain? How do I take from this person? And it's just almost like two people that should be building are damn near destroying each other. But I like that comment, Quantum. But yeah, we get back in that video because I think they because we still got that other one we want to jump into.
Yeah, finish the other clip though for the viewers.
Describing his relationship with you, and all the men on this panel started telling him, "Man, bro, you a miserable ass dude to be with a woman that is as misandrous as she is, and talks cash mash shit about men every day, and talk about how you got to pay all the bills for him and all of that, and you got to slave him."
Wait, who is humming way down the water?
The one chick on the bottom left, the one that because she's talking about the slavery shit. That's why she's like, she said, y'all talking some slavery stuff. She's like, I got to cash out. He got to come with that bread. She's like, I'm at the finish line. Yeah. So she humming Negro spirituals down there.
Wading down the water. All right, let's go.
We'll wait for this woman. Imagine if your man came up here and said that shit, and the men on the panel talked about your man the way that y'all try to talk about Callie.
You're not understanding what she's saying.
I don't care what she's saying.
We're not.
Hey, let Shan go. Shame on they been had.
Yeah, Shan, you've been quiet a while. Let's hear from Shan.
No,
I just have a quick question. Callie, how old are you? If you don't mind me.
I turned 30. I turned 30 December, so I'm 30 years old.
Yeah, so I think that you have to take things like that in consideration, right? She's young. I mean, you're supposed to help your mate at a certain age. Like, she's not. Everybody doesn't want to wait at the finish line. Some people want to put their skin in the game and help the guy. We just talked about.
I'll give it that. We all did that foolishness when we were young.
No. So some people do it in it.
We weren't doing that at 30. I wasn't doing that at 30.
Yeah, you was being a dominatrix.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This lady at the bottom, Andrea, you telling me you're over 30 years old?
Yes, I am. I'm 33 and I look damn good.
Okay, so listen.
I don't think he was saying that to mean that you look good. I think he was judging your.
No, I don't care what he was doing. I'm telling
Darwin, stop being sassy. So sassy.
Yeah, the OnlyFans at 30.
Wow. Okay.
I look good, don't I?
Excuse me.
So Callie, she's 30. She turned 30 like last year in December. Unfortunately, the other one who's supposed to be mature enough, because she's claiming that she's 33, that's Andreas or whatever, however you want to call her.
And that's funny. She was like, look, she done placed the whole assumption on my man. She was like, look, he's asking me about age because he think I'm fine. He's like, this broad dumb as a box of rocks. he was like, man, I can't believe you like. He was like, how old are you? Shit, she sound like she about 24, man. For real, Andrea. She sound like a high school chick, you know?
Yeah.
God, she making light-skinned people look bad.
I mean, they're all light-skinned, you know what I mean? Even including Callie. So, you know, it's still a little bit of hope jerk, you know?
Man, we taking some L's, man.
Now the sister to the top right, I haven't heard her spoke yet. So
Shan Monet, yeah, she's pretty level-headed, man. She's pretty, I'll say balanced.
Okay.
But the funny thing when I like female dynamics when you see them having a conversation, because even going back when Callie was giving them some props, she was like, "You guys are strong women, and I would never bash you." Callie, that's why I do got a little bit of smoke for you. These motherfuckers ain't strong, Callie. Knock it off. Females always gotta, you know, they're very tactful, man. But sometimes y'all gotta bring that heat a little bit. That's one thing I like being a guy. We ain't about to. We had two dudes like that say the equivalent, like baby daddy ass dudes. They was fucking up stuff, and they had that mindset, man, we ain't gonna be like, hey, y'all strong men, we need to be there. We're gonna be like, fuck that. Y'all ain't shit. so Callie, you got to turn up a little bit. I understand, man. You definitely got great composure, but damn it, we're gonna send you some super chats. You got to turn up on these panels, Callie.
Yeah, I think what Callie's trying to do, I get it. Like she's trying to be level-headed, strategic because there are men on the panel, and she's not trying to stoop down to the level because of that. But sometimes, though, you gotta kind of go a little bit from blow to blow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta act like how they doing it, but still have that sophisticated type of language. But give them something. Don't give them no backhanded compliment that you really don't mean. Look, they're a pack of hyenas. They're unruly women, old women. You know what I mean? To be exact, compared to her. And sometimes you gotta put them into place.
She from out y'all way too. I think she up in Cali or from there. So shout out to y'all, man. She holding Cali down, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's finish this one out so we can jump in the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I'm married. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Thank you.
So shaking ass. She was breaking us down for a real nigga when she was 30.
Did he flirt? Did she flirt with you?
Yeah, when she was 30, she said.
I hope not. I don't know.
She saw what it was.
He thought I was 21. That's what he's trying to say.
No, I thought your behavior was becoming of a woman who was maybe 19 or 20. So I was figuring you were way younger. So I was surprised to hear your age.
You're 30.
Out to Mark Days. Mark Days shut that shit down.
Yeah.
I thought you was like 19 or 21. Honestly.
Because everything I want, I got.
That's her mentality, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's three women on the panel that can sing. Hold on. I heard DJ voice a little bit.
Go ahead, Shan. Let me hear you.
That's the last 3 points. We at the 45th.
I got you, Sweeney.
What's good, Daryl?
And you know what? That's the song DJ gonna be singing 10 years from now when she in that damn church.
Hey, but guess what? Guess what?
Singing that shit with Vivica Fox.
Talking about Lord, send me a man.
She said she's gonna be next to you, bro.
Yep. Be standing right next to you. Pass you the collection.
I'm gonna be you gonna be laying next to me. I'm gonna be the pallbearer.
I'm like, oh my. Be standing right next to you like she really left you, huh?
All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Yeah, Daryl, tag us in that, man. Yeah, we got the other video. We're gonna jump in.
I got one come up for y'all for your channel. I'll tag you. Okay, for sure, man. Salute, Daryl, man. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, man. Look, everybody, man, share the video, man. Man, even send that shit to like JR, man, so he can know, like, man, what our opinion is and what we think about this shit. But yeah, man. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Now we're gonna go to the next one. I think this is going to be the second one where the pick me shuts down feminists over submission and income. So fair use, man. Again, shouts to Lapeef Network for providing this clip for other people to react to. Fair use.
I get called to pick me every time here. Listen, I'm gonna state what I believe.
There should be no single pick me.
I believe. Listen. What I believe, I want to just be happy in my life and with my man.
Real quick, M3. Let me ask you a question.
This makes my happiness.
Do you think like a pick me is actually derogatory? I know like females would slander other females by it, but do you think it's a bad terminology? So I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, why would y'all call somebody a pick me and think that's bad?
I mean, so okay, so it depends, man, like on the context of it and how it's used. Like, you know, you got women that be like, I'm the baddest bitch or whatever. But for me, if I say, hey, like, you're a bitch, yeah, that's me being derogatory towards her. That's the same thing, like, okay, the term like pick me is like, hey, like, you know, use a person that gets picked, that gets chosen because you carry a certain type of elegance about you. But they made it for derogatory because now it's more of like, hey, if you're a pygmy, you know, you're pretty much it's a people pleaser for these men. And they're really trying to say it's like you're not really your authentic self. You just put up a facade. And unfortunately, I met like I had experience like with a pick-me type of woman, you know, who was really fraudulent. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you saying like if somebody is faking, then the label kind of fits.
Yeah, the label definitely fits, but regardless, like it's still meant as a derogatory term because, you know, a lot of people are just saying like, hey, like, you know, it's like it's like somebody calling like another female out their name, but these are females that's doing that, you know, and they're trying to say like, you know, you ain't shit, you're worthless, but you're doing anything that you can like just to try to get a man.
So like say the females that are actually that, like females like how they're talking, say like a Cali, Quantum, you know, they're actually like good females. You think it's a bit of jealousy then in that case?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a woman who gets chosen by a lot of guys for good caliber, and I'm not even talking about like just the financial aspect, but
like character and all that.
Yeah, like you pretty much like lucked out because you're able to find men that give you so high regard about your own character that other women who's like really who thinks that, hey, like, you know, I'm fine, I'm good looking. Just like the Andrea chick and what's it called? The DJ Soul, something like that. See, women that think that they're pretty are just like the guys who, like, you know, are handsome and feel like they ain't gotta put no work into it. So they get upset because they're like, well, how dare you choose someone lesser than me because they struggle, they put the work into it. I shouldn't have to put the work into it because my beauty should be enough for me to attract you. Matter of fact, it should be enough to make you want to slave for me. If that makes sense.
I mean, I said, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Look, the slave terminology.
Yeah, man. Like, think about it, man. Pick-me's are like the equivalent to like Abraham Lincoln when like, you think those white men, like those white people's happy about that? That's why you're always gonna see like that little penny, right? Where Abraham Lincoln is faced to the left side, adjacent from like all the other whites. And it has the browns, and it has the lowest value of it. You're a traitor. That's how they look at her. They look at her like the female the modern day Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Okay. I like the slavery spin. Damn, okay.
Yeah. So sure, slavery destroyer, man. Because women, man, they need slaves like us, man. They need the modern day like slaves, which they're called like simps. You know what I mean? The ones that would like just give their cash up and do whatever they can, man. Mop the floors, cook the meals, and all that. And
but I do kind of feel like when in these conversations, I think when they throw the term "pick me," like in this case, when she's cooking them up, it's like they ain't got shit to respond back. So it's like, all right, let me throw like an insult, try to throw that person off their game, kind of like Quantum was saying, like they trying to get in that person's head. So I think it's a little bit of jealousy. And then it's also like acknowledging that that person's articulate and they ain't got no response for that. So it's like, shit, let me hurl some shit at them and throw them off their game because I'm getting mollywopped out here.
Yep. Oh, and great film. The only reason why I'm even like mentioning like the slave part because I'm pretty much projecting from what the other females were saying. Like, hey man, like, they're going through slave and hardship. I'm like, hey man, well, we go through that same shit too, though. If we were simply for your beauty. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and continue.
At the end of the day, I'm going to hold men accountable as I hold women accountable. I'm not here trying to opposite sides or be right. It's not, for me, it's not who's right and who's wrong. We're sharing perspectives. We're sharing views. I'll take in what you say if I believe in it. If I'm completely against it, I'll be like, I see your point, but I'm not going to utilize it.
Can I say something? Here's a problem. The problem with all this is the pick me term didn't come from the man. The pick me was a term that women call other women. Mm-hmm. And what y'all are trying to do is y'all are trying to help you
easily identify the desirable according to y'all.
I just listened for like 20 minutes and I didn't interrupt nobody. Yeah, exactly. I did interrupt Kelly. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Pick me was a term that y'all made up. But what y'all don't get to do is make up a damn term and then automatically qualify yourself to be suitable for marriage. Pick me and suitable wife, it's not the same fucking thing.
You hear
still
that,
gotta
pick me,
qualify.
pick me shoes? Y'all hear
Just
that?
because you think you're a pick me doesn't mean that you automatically qualify to be somebody else's wife.
Listen to what he's saying, pick me shoes. He said you still not qualified, child.
I agree.
I didn't say that.
She damn near twisting up everybody's
That's
words.
the misogynistic mentality that women have. They try to take the words that you have, and what they try to do is they try to villainize me for what I say against another.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Darwin.
One thing about it, the guys that y'all call simps are always picked over here, honey. We love the men that y'all call simps. They get so much love. They get all the play. It's the incels, on the other hand, that get hung out to dry. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that's true.
Every
BJ.
man that I know that y'all call a simp have wives, girlfriends, and get lots of play. All the women are around them, and all the women love them.
Yeah, y'all get
All right,
play, but I don't know if they're getting play from y'all.
They do.
So do you feel like the simps get a lot of play?
Yeah, as far as getting played, getting gamed over, you know.
But do you think they do get some chicks though?
I mean, here's the thing, right? A broken clock could always be right once in a while. So a simp could still, like, you know, get a woman, but it's the amount of time and the effort into getting her. You know what I mean? And sometimes, man, they do win, you know. But when you look at the overall picture, look what you had to go through just to try to get a person like that. Versus if you were someone else, it probably would only like maybe take you like maybe a couple of dates, 1 or 2 dates probably, for you to win her over. I'm going to say this, like just to kind of share a little bit. I've definitely learned a lot, right, as far as like my dating experiences. Oh, and by the way, as of today, I'm officially divorced. Just finally signed the papers, so you know, who knows? Your boy might have a bachelor's party, but anyways.
Are you officially for the streets?
Yeah, you know. So now, you know, I mean, I was like, you know, like as a mayor, man, I was on my whole campaign tour for the spring break, and I kind of calmed down a little bit. You know, I might slow down just for a little bit, you know. But you know, shouts to my Latino woman, right? You know, she know the deal. But anyway, not from the streets, man. She might be from the streets too, though. But you know. No, I'm messing around. But the thing is that oh, hold on, I got in the screen for the IG. Okay, it just popped up. All right. Anyways, my point is that like what I've learned is that when a woman is really into you, like man, like you ain't gotta jump through all these hurdles. You ain't got to jump through all these hoops. It is so relatively easy, you know. And take it from a guy, right? And I'm not saying like drizzle or whatever, but take it from a guy, right, who's average, who started from ground zero. I've met like a lot of women that is totally the opposite. These women talk about like, you know, they want a man that is like already up there, successful, well-to-do. Man, I'm meeting women that's like already that got their stuff together. I mean, tenfold, got their businesses running, booming, you know. And, you know, sometimes, man, like a little dick won't hurt them, you know. That's all they really ask for, like the simple things in life. So I find it kind of funny that, you know, when you go on the internet and you hear these women with ridiculous demands, but they fail to realize that there's always going to be some woman that's out there that's going to be more successful than them, that got this stuff together, and they're just ready to settle down. Yeah, Great P, I said it. But, you know, Drizzle.
Yeah, I caught that too, man. You're supposed to add a little bit of dick. You just said little dick. I'm like, hey, man.
Hey, you got to charge, man. Like, look. You give them the version, Okay, like an hour and a half session or whatever, and after that, give them a little dick at a time. All right. No, I'm playing with you guys, man. Yeah, on the streets. All right. I told y'all, man. But
go based off of what you're saying, man. I think you're spitting facts, man. I think the crazy part with like the female DJ and even the other one, it's like they're gonna make the case for the men that like they could take advantage of. So of course you're gonna be like, hey man, this type of guy, they do the best with the ladies, but the reality is like they're sleeping with everybody. You know, those type of women, they're gonna sleep with the guy, like you said, that they actually attracted to, they like. He's gonna have like it's gonna require minimal amount of time and effort. But the other guys, they'll try to like you said, manipulate them a bit, be like, oh, I'm not like that, you know, you're special. You guys are the masculine ones. Those are the dudes that pay for the dates and shit. So I think that's what confuses some guys, where they don't understand, like, because simps do, they pick up chicks, man. I ain't gonna sit out here and act like they don't. You know, guys that trick, they're gonna get females, but the flip side to that is like there's also some guys that don't do none of that shit, and they're probably sleeping with the same women. So that's where guys just got to get better. It's like, man, what dynamic of that spectrum do you want to be on? Do you want to be the guy that's like getting used, or do you want a guy that she actually likes? She wants to spend the right quality time with you and shit like that. And you should, like I always tell guys, man, I'm not saying don't treat a female nice. Definitely, if she's worth it, man, treat a female right. But guys just got to get better at like having that discernment and, you know, only breaking bread with a female that's actually into you. So I think guys are getting confused with these dynamics, but she's gonna sit there playing to it like, oh, you know, the Sims, they get all the females. Like, shut up.
and of course that part is definitely not necessarily true, because then it's like, and again, man, I hear like the alpha, the Sims, or whatever type of BS or whatever. Honestly, man, like I'm just like a guy that's in between. You know, I'm like your average Joe, living a regular life, trying to make a come up or whatever. And women, they love that type of ambition. If you're just like a dude that's ambitious, and I mean like genuinely ambitious, and you're doing whatever you can, man, to try like to be successful, and you still, you got your own place, you're working hard. Women really respect that. They respect the guy that has like a car, a simple apartment. A house is a plus, you know what I mean? But really, they just looking for men that really just got their stuff together, and they got their mindset like, focused. We had a conversation just even about finances, right? And shouts to you, Jerk, because you do advocate that men and women should have these type of conversations, even in dating. Like, what are you like as far as your spending habits? How are you as far as for saving and investing? Like, I mean, these type of women, well, at least the one that I'm with so far, right? Even though we're not official, but you know what I mean. She got her investment going on, which is cool. It's a plus. Even though I'm not trying to gold dig and look for that type of stuff initially, but that's a plus, like, to actually be around. Because then for guys, right, you could be inspired, and it makes you want to do better. Not just to try to pull her or whatever, but it makes you want to do better for yourself. You know what I mean? Quantum says, I am not respecting a nigga because he got like a car empty. Well, but yeah, that's the point, right?
Quantum said, like, I ain't about to get excited for the basics. Shit. She said, you better level up, nigga.
Right. Quantum, she want a guy with a jet. So I understand, you got you're in that upper caliber, Quantum. Like, I respect that.
Yeah, Quantum over there getting paid and shit. Quantum, like, look, you gotta step it up a little bit, goddamn it.
And she like Tiffany Haddish or whatever. She don't want like that ring for a proposal. She want that apartment building. So I get you, Quantum, on that part. So, but Jerk, basically, just to cut it short, man, all I'm just saying is that you just want to find a woman that actually like you for you, and you'll be able to tell like right off the bat, man, when she's ready to like top you off like the gas station. Okay, so with that being said, go ahead, man.
No, that's facts, man. Because man, a lot of dudes, because I think, man, the two dynamics, man, I think that fuck up relationships. Like I said, we were talking about earlier, where people take advantage of each other. So for women, a lot of times it's materialism. Guys, it's superficial. So it's like, man, that's when guys step over that and they're just like, man, I'm fixated on looks, man. I don't care about the character. You're gonna draw in a female like Andrea and the other chick. That's what you're gonna get. You know, the ones, and you're gonna get used. And the same thing for women. It's like if they chasing materialism too much and they're ignoring the character and stuff, man, they're gonna end up with them dudes that's like controlling and shit like that. So those are the dynamics you don't play in. So yeah, you want somebody that's got their shit together because it kind of equalizes it. I'm gonna give y'all some game right now. The deepest connection you could, I say the deepest connection you could find with a female and is getting a chick that actually likes you and that got money. And the reason why I say that is because, man, a female that doesn't need you for money and is actually there with you because she wants to be with you, that's the deepest connection that you could find. And a lot of guys just don't understand that. And I think a lot of guys fear that dynamic because they feel like they lose control in that situation where, or they be like, oh man, how do you, I always get pushback. They'd be like, how do you have leadership, and you can't like hang the money over the head. And I'm like, man, because you got to have like other attributes. So if you have like all the other attributes, like your mentality, man, you're educated, they actually like you and stuff like, and you're competent, man, females typically, man, if you got your shit together, females like sitting back. And if you include them in the decision making, you're not like leading them blindly, man, they're not going to sit there and be wrestling you for leadership. Like people try to paint that dynamic and shit. So yeah, I think a lot of times like guys don't understand that's the deepest. A female that could take care of herself, that's willing to come in there and build with you and stuff, man, that's the deepest, I say, desire and level of attraction that you could get from a female. That's the purest. Because it's just like, hey, most of the time women are a little more attached when they be like, hey, I want security, provision. So if they're saying, hey, man, I'm good on my end, I'm here with you for these other reasons. Yeah, you set. Because they want to be there. They're not there out of like necessity, convenience and shit like that. Because, a lot of females would stay with guys because, the finances. So yeah, that's like I said, that would be the deepest connection. But yeah, we could jump back in the video and stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, in simplistic terms, it's about like common sense and also like a little bit of common courtesy. You know what I mean? You just gotta like, just really be courteous, man. Like when it comes like, to the person that you're with. Well, I mean, consideration, man. Consider it. So, women, like, honestly, man, like, women, like, appreciate some of the things that, let's say, like, they want something, like, let's say, like, a chocolate cake or whatever, or let's flowers, whatever, right? I know you alpha guys, man, in chat might flame me or whatever, but whenever I hear a woman, like, say what she wants, I remember that type of stuff. Why I remember it? Don't ask me why. But, I got like, my lady like a cake or whatever. That was bonus points. That kind of led to the boom boom room, you know what I mean, in my apartment. And since then she became stigmatized, I got some flowers, man, over the weekend, and she appreciate that. So it's like some like the little things, man, like it comes like a long way, and and it gets you fed too, I would say. But anyways, man,
no, there's nothing wrong with like doing nice deeds for somebody. It's just making sure, man, like you just gotta make sure they're there for the right reason. But ain't nothing wrong with like the stuff that you outline. And it's just when a guy's like looking at it, hey, I have to do this to get her to like me, versus just doing it as a nice gesture. So you're just like, hey man, I'm gonna do this because you know what, man, this is a good female, man. we keep each other company, man. We have a good time. So let me do something nice. And she probably does the nice stuff for you. So that's totally different. But when you're like, got the mindset of like, hey, I have to do this, or she's not going to talk to me. She's going to talk to somebody else. So when you have that type of fear in your mindset, that's when you're doing it for the wrong reason.
No, I get you. And I wasn't even like, like even thinking about like just like the nice stuff. It's just more of like just being like an active listener. It's like the little things that really matter when you don't even really think about. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue the video. But that's still a good point, Jerk.
Andrew,
no, they don't.
I have a question. Earlier when y'all were talking about how come y'all can't respect a man that makes less than a woman, and how come we still don't get y'all submission? I'm gonna tell you why. Why would I respect somebody that I have out hustled in their own patriarchy? Answer that for me.
Who asked that question?
Y'all did.
When?
Earlier, you said, how come women, it was one of the questions that I believe JR posed. How can men expect to have submission even if their girlfriend or their wives are earning more money?
Submission has nothing to do with money. Submission has nothing to do with money. It just has
to do
with submission is a choice. Just because there are different ways to submit to someone. It's a choice. It's not, who makes more money, who makes less money. If I submit to you, it's because I want you to lead our relationship, because I trust that you're going to lead our relationship to things that are great, that you're going to lead us to the betterment of our relationship. I choose not to lead the relationship. I choose to have him lead. I don't choose it because he makes more money. I know we're both
But that's not what the question was, though. You're not even. That wasn't even the question. The question was, DJ, what does submission even look like if both partners make money?
It doesn't look like anything. It's non-existent. But I want to have the one-on-one real quick with my good sister here.
Yeah, of course, love.
Okay, so what type of man? What makes you submit to a man? Because for me, his financial decisions, his career decisions, his ability to lead me and execute his vision, it reflects in his finances. So money is not just an abstract thing or a shallow thing that we just pick out that we want to cling on to, kind of like how men cling on to how a woman looks. That's shallow. But looking at a man's financial decisions and where they have led him to is actually a sound factor for a woman to choose a mate, because she needs security. When she gets pregnant,
because we got Lola in the building, so dun dun dun.
It's good, Lola. Hold on, let her finish up her because I'm trying to get all of that.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see you, Lola.
We'll break it down.
That's the most vulnerable time in a woman's life. She needs to feel secure, and she needs to feel like she has somebody substantial that's going to hold her down, that makes good decisions and knows how to execute a vision.
So I get exactly what you're saying, and what you're saying isn't right. It is important to look at, how someone manages.
So she wasn't off base, because like I do agree, man. You do need to be cautious about somebody's financial decisions, but I feel like if somebody makes more than you. Because, I mean, say like a guy worked at a nonprofit or something. He got a pretty good job. He's making good money. But say you're just killing it. And he's a leader in a different way. It's not like he's, because I think sometimes people confuse leadership with like a tyrant. And I just think in any form of leadership, if you're a good leader, man, you're going to, especially if you got a smart woman, you're going to be like, look, man, you make those decisions. You're smart. I'm gonna cover this in so that way we're not micromanaging each other, and then we're more productive with both of us making good decisions because we got similar mindsets, or we wouldn't even be aligning with each other, if you're intentional and stuff like that. So I think that's sometimes where people confuse the leadership part, but where she's equating it to, she's like, if I make more than you, nigga, I ain't you ain't no leader in my book. So it's just like, depending on how much she makes, it's like shit. Well, you might not find nobody in that case, so that's the issue. Like, I think a lot of people, I'll say successful women, if they have her mindset, that's where they're going to run into. But let me just tell this quick story. And I know Lola gonna want to cook, but I knew this one lady, man, she made about like 500,000. She was balling. and she met this. I'm talking about Big Cheese, but the guy she was talking to, he did a lot of renovations and he was good at fixing homes and all this stuff. He could do anything to a house. So she really liked the guy, and so she was like talking to me, and she was like, "Ah, man," I could tell she was embarrassed by like his nature at work. So she was about to dismiss him because I guess her friends were like, "Oh, fuck that, you can't be with him, girl. You're up here and stuff." So I was like, "Man, you sitting on a gold mine." She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Man, that dude knows how to do all that stuff to them houses." Because he could like look at a house, he'd be like, "Hey, man, don't mess with this one. The foundation's cracked. This, change out the AC." He could run electrical. So this dude was, I was like, "Man, you sitting on a gold mine. You making all that damn money. You don't know what to do with it. Man, you get with that dude. Y'all invest in some houses. He could flip them mugs for you." Sure enough, like they got together. She started doing flips. She was like, "Man, she making way more money doing flips with him, you know, than she's making in her career and stuff." She was like, "They're making like triple the amount." She was like, "Man, thank God for you like walking me off that edge." Cause she was like, he was a good man, had all the stuff that she wanted, but just because the career thing didn't look right, she was about to be like, "Man, fuck that." But when they was working with each other, man, they killing the game. Both tie now. So I think sometimes, man, people don't understand like the career that somebody might choose might not be sexy, but it's just like, man, they might have a different type of mindset. And if you're smart, say like if a Lola got with somebody, he might just be lacking in this little small area, everything else is structured, and then you might take off and stuff. So I do think like sometimes people miss out on opportunities, you know, like looking at stuff just so flat. But don't get me wrong, like you do need to check out the finances. So I'm with her on that piece. Go ahead, Lola, cook us up. Where we wrong at?
Hey. Okay, so no, you guys are not wrong, and I didn't see the beginning here. I just see that, you know, Bruiser is here looking crazy, but that pose right there is crazy. But what I will say about what the lady just asked, I think it was a poignant question, which is, why should I respect you in a patriarchal system premised on how much money you can make? And as a woman, I'm floating on your patriarchal system that favors you. Why should I respect you if you can't win in your own system built for you, right? That's what she said. Now, that's an interesting question, because the answer based on patriarchy, let me be clear, white patriarchy, is you shouldn't respect men that can't win in a patriarchal society, let alone over you. You should not respect men based on that standard. There is no respect to be had in that system, which is why white people have the problems they have. Like right now with this whole woke shit and Me Too shit and this feminist shit, this is their problem because that's their system that they're working on. That's why there's no respect there. There's no love there, let alone respect. So that's what that is. Now, when we talk about black people, there's two Americas. There's our Black America and there's the other Americas. In our America, like somebody said here, women don't submit to money. That's not what we do over here. Okay? We don't submit to money. We submit to people who are worthy of it, period. Not to money. Even the women that think they submitting to a man because he can take care of them, at some point they come to the realization, yeah, no, I can't submit to his money no matter how much money he got, even if I try. Okay, yes, Gray Pill, we are back to race because we are in America. That's why we back to race. So, and here's the thing, even if we're going to talk about that, at the end of the day, our culture is different, and that's okay. We don't submit to money, period. Black men and black women have always been equal when it comes to their ability to get resources. Why? Because we were equally working on slave plantations. Why? Because we were equally chastised. Why? Because we were equally hung. Why? Because we were equally sexually assaulted. Why? Because we were equally barred from resources. Why? Because we were equally redlined. Why? I can go on and on and on. So our culture has not been built off of a patriarchal system where the men's money is what makes him a man. That's not our culture. We just in the middle of somebody else's shit. So
let me ask you a question.
What she said is correct, but it's not correct as it pertains to us, period.
But let me ask you a question, because I'm glad you brought that up because I was trying to think about what she said. So when you recapped it, is it patriarchy or
It is.
capitalism?
No,
is the actual system that's based on greed.
No, capitalism isn't really real. It's not. It's a mix of other systems. But the patriarchal system is what we truly are talking about. It's a patriarchal system that says resources is what makes you valuable. It's the patriarchal system, not the egalitarian system, not the matriarchal systems. Like, strangely, it's the patriarchal systems that have that framework that says men are equal to their value and their value are equal to their valuables. That's it. Meaning they're tangible valuables, nothing else. So when we get to a place where women have jobs just like men, women have equal rights just like men, what's the purpose of men? The problem is, in a patriarchal system, there is no purpose for a man because his purpose is tied to his things. And if his things is equal to you, you don't need him. But outside of that system, which is the culture that we're working with, is men, black men and women have never had the opportunity to participate in such things. We've always had to see each other beyond finances. It's only in recent days that we've got to this point where social media has us looking at each other's lives in a very short vacuum and saying, oh wow, they look happy over there on those yachts. They look happy on those dates. They look happy. Everybody looks happy. But then when you go behind the camera, you realize what's really going on. But we're not behind the camera. We're just seeing all these great photographs because everybody's a photographer now. But, nobody actually works as a photographer. It's just everybody taking selfies and shit. So it's like, this is that false reality appearing real, which is the problem that we have. We're judging each other amongst each other based on a false reality. And so this is where our community starts to fall apart at. We're not falling apart at patriarchy. We're falling apart at media. So these are two separate cultures that aren't even coming together. Because truth be told, again, since when have black women ever been like strategically, because black men wanted it that way, stay-at-home mothers? Since when have we just back in my great-grandparents' time? My great-grandmother was a wet nurse. My great-grandfather had 3 jobs. She had to work as a wet nurse, if you know what that is. My great-great-grandmother always were working on the farms where her parents were former slaves, and they also had other jobs. Everybody pulled their weight. Period. There is no such thing as because you're a female, you get to not pull your weight. You better get out there and get something. Like, being a female in our culture does not mean you get to lay back and do nothing and just sex really well. That's not what femininity is to us. Period. So I hear what she's saying, and there is truth in everything she said. There is no respect for a man in patriarchy that is not making more than you, not equal to you, more than you. There's no respect. There's no room for respect in that system. However, we're not operating in that system. That system has never worked for us. That system was not built for us. And truth be told, even if we wanted to try to make it work for us, it's not. We need 2 incomes, if not more. So no.
I like how you broke that down. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Lola coming in with the kill. Now Bruiser was actually cooking on this one. So,
I need to hear his ass. I need to hear his ass because his face right now got me like,
he was trolling him a little bit. That one girl at the top, Callie, she was cooking him up.
Who you said, Callie? Her, the one.
The one. Yeah, she was giving them that work. But we jump back in the video though.
All right, for sure. He said, Great Pill says those links isn't working.
One of them worked. The last one I think worked.
Say again?
The last one worked. I went to the first one, but then I went to the last one. It worked.
Yeah, M3 sending out bootleg links. trying to throw people off and shit.
Let me resend this link for StreamYard. I don't know why it's tripping. Go ahead, Great Pill. Try to hop in now.
Yeah, Great Pill got coming here and run interference. I mean.
All right, let's continue.
And just finances. However, what one man lacks, I'm hoping and praying that I can pick up for. So for me, it's not necessarily what he has in the account today, because what he has in the account today can triple next year. For me, it's what is your mindset from what it is that you've learned. I used to work at a bank, and I've seen plenty of people that made poor financial decisions, and all it took was a little bit of financial literacy to help him understand how to make better decisions. And with that, he was able to take that and triple it with his most of what he was able to do.
Sweetheart, that doesn't happen. The median income of a black man is 51,000. That doesn't happen, sweetheart. You're not here to be an ICU for a man. You're not here to build a man. You're not here to raise a man. He should come whole, and he's supposed to guide you. He said he was your leader. He said he was your guide, not the other way around. Do you know what happens when you attach yourself to a man that you have to raise? It drains you of all your beauty, your youth, your femininity. Don't ever do that to yourself. Don't ever raise a man. When you find a mate, he should never be able to out hustle you in a game that he created to set up for him to win.
So I do want to clarify on this. Just because you are teaching someone a new trick does not mean you are training them throughout their entire lifetime, and they are a kid and you're understanding them. Just as much as there are things, just as much as there are things that I do not know that a man can come in and teach me, does not necessarily mean that he has to raise me and has to train me to become this. We are in a relationship. What he lacks, I gain. What I lack, he gains. So if he needs help,
and that's why you were 50-50 up until this point. You've never been with a leader. You have this idea that I'm gonna build him up.
Yeah, hit the pause button.
Understand that men and women building.
Pause. Where's your finger at? Number one, give Jerk some ability so he can do this too. The IG lady, she got issues, man.
Who?
The IG lady at the bottom, DS, whatever, lovely. Yeah, she got issues.
That's her name.
Callie clearly stated a while ago, like, this is a whole nuanced conversation, and a lot of the people on the panel is not making this a nuanced conversation. They keep like trying to make this one-sided, I win, let me get a point off of you type conversation, and it's not even going that route. And the fact that she think that because I don't know her that well, but I'm just gonna guess she feel like she recently got engaged, so she thinks she got a leg up on another woman because I guess her age or whatever. That's even sad because the woman sounds like she's older than Callie, so I'm guessing like she's in her 40s. So just because you recently got engaged, and I'm going to go ahead and just guess again, I might be projecting a little bit. She might have a kid or two, I don't know, but even that's still a loss. So it don't come up on a win because you with your attitude and the little tone in your voice. But like all of the clickbaity words she's saying, everything else she's saying is like it's crazy, bro. Like everything Kelly just said a moment ago is spot on. Whatever I don't know, because one man isn't gonna know everything. Let's just say he makes all the money in the world. He got the greatest business in the world, but do he got common sense? Nope. Do he know how to treat his woman when he go out in public or inside the doors? Nope. Because we've seen that many times where men that have all the money, the businesses and the success on their crap, they're abusing the crap of their woman in home. And then they have kids and pour that on kids too. Like, come on, man.
No, I agree with you. Now, because I didn't witness the conversation prior, I think you might have heard more than I did between these two ladies. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not coming down on Kylie, but when she spoke for herself, right? And a lot of times when you speak for yourself and people can say, well, wait a minute, your opinion don't represent half of what most people are dealing with. Now we into the minutia of, well, who are you talking about? What are you really talking about? And this is why, if she's going to say for me, she has to clarify why is it that either people should do what she's doing, or why is it that people are doing what she's doing in the majority. The other lady made a statement that it was a true statement. It's the second time she said it since I've been here. She said, you can't raise a man, and it's not for you to raise a man financially. And she said, if most men are making 50K or less, what we dealing with is a huge deficit in this country when it comes to leadership. And what I can say, and this is just me personally, because I can only speak for myself, I have never been with a man that if I have to raise him financially that he can respect me. Men, it's men have a certain psychology that they need to get it out the mud for themselves. They can't get it out the mud as a result of somebody giving them something, specifically a chick that they with. Men need to feel like they are in control of themselves. And if they don't have that sense, they're not going to respect you. This is why. Wait a minute. This is why you'll have chicks saying, don't help niggas, because when you help them, that's why they cheat on you, because they can't be Superman to you, because they came up off you. They gonna take what they came up off you with and go sleep with the next chick that didn't help them, because they can be Superman to a chick that don't have what they have, and they can feel like, yeah, I'm the man in this relationship, but they can't feel like a man in the relationship if the only reason why they have shit is because you gave it to them. This is what I'm saying.
That's fair. That's fair.
There is a certain psychology that comes with what she's saying. And what she's saying is, if you're telling me 80% of black men make $50K or less, and the only way for you to manage 1 to 2 children is to be making at least 65 on the low end. Don't talk to me about leadership, because when she say, well, is he this type of man? Is he that type of man? Whatever type of man he is great. But if he can't pay the bills, that shit in human terms takes a back seat. So it's nice that you are nice, but like my father said, men pay bills, period. Now, being a good man on top of that makes it even better. But you pay bills. That's your job. If you ain't doing your job, nobody cares about your personality, period. Nobody. You can be the nicest man in the world. If that chick can look up and see that eviction notice is on the door, it don't matter how good you are as a man, you will not be respected. Period.
Yeah, we're about to move a little bit forward to what because I heard like 4 things, but Jesus Christ, that's why I hate fucking long stories.
Amen. Praise His glory. Praise His glory. Amen.
What up, Marcus?
Yeah, the part about you're saying like the 80% men and stuff like that, and this is just me speaking on my personal experience and the people that's around me. I know for firsthand experience where women either like have a house and then the guy don't just have an apartment, or a guy just like starting out got like a little studio and he's slowly coming up. You know what I'm saying? There's no eviction notice at the door. But I seen women as like, and I'll give you the part about, I don't think it's all men with the psychology part. Like, if you need to make a man feel like a man like all the time, then that's the insecure man. I'm just sorry. Yeah. Like if he knows what he's supposed to be about, and even if he's just working, because I'm, again, me from my experience, I'm in the South. I see guys walking to work, they don't have a car. But I'll see these people on a podcast will belittle those type of dudes. Oh, well, he walking. But the women in the state, in the area that I've been through, shout out to Georgia, Florida, Alabama, those parts from there, they'll see a man like, yo, at least he going to work and he'll go get a second job. Okay, at least getting a job. And then he'll got friends in the company. Okay, well, I can give him like a little $20 for gas and he'll get back and forth. And then he'll save up like 3 months, 6 months, whatever. Already got his credit up and go get another car, or he's like, you know what? Let me just grind out for a year, and then my income tax come and I get a car, and then he'll use that experience he got from a job, and then go get another job that's a little bit more pay for him and benefits and 401k and stuff like that. And then, but before he get there, there'll be women like, oh, at least he working, I got him. And then if there's separate apartments, that's fine, and they might even move up together because again, you mentioned 2 incomes, and that might work out for them. But there's women out there will look at a dude like, hey, at least he working, at least he taking care of the basic necessities. Okay, what else he got in the pot? Is he a good dude? Is he a good father? Is he just an all-around general person? That's what I'm looking for. That's something MP mentioned earlier, like just the basic stuff, because every time they turn around, they got fuckboys. They got dudes just want to do dumb shit. So they're like, okay, cool. I'm good with a guy making $40K to $50K a year, and they good. But then you have those other type of chicks like this goofy one on the panel telling me some, yeah, I want one at 80K and 100K, and he got to lead me. And I promise you, she the type of chick when she go log off, she probably catching all types of attitudes with the man. You didn't buy me no Versace. You didn't. Oh, hold on. I know. I went a long stroke a little bit too. Now I'm projecting. You can't get me this. I don't have mine. Well, I can't. Well, if you lose your job, I'm not gonna wash no goddamn dishes. That's you got type of women that do that too. So this is my thing, just in defense of the stuff that Kelly was saying then and now. There is different types of women, just like there's different type of men. It just sucks that sometimes we got hurt people that hurt people. It's kind of hard to maneuver through that. And you'll have guys like myself, like we kind of like introverted. We're like, yo, I ain't trying to spend this much money to go outside. I'd rather just keep indoors. I got my internet, I got my game, I got all that stuff. So I'm chilling at home. Unless it's something for me to go out the door, really motivating me, like, hey, go to work, put gas in my car. I got my homie coming through. That's the only way I'm gonna get out the door. But if it's like some really chick, I'm just happy to pass through my local area, then I'm like, fuck it. I'll take that either the L or W, depending on how the wind blows. So that's pretty much how life goes. But if you're on that whole top tier, and granted, I'm the broken busy guy out here, right? So I don't have the 80K, the 100K. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend I do. But I know guys in a top tier bracket move a little bit differently because they're always out. They're always mingling with other people. So you're gonna see a little bit different caliber of people. But it's not the caliber this lady at the bottom is saying. I just want to pull out like this. It's not always one-sided slated on the end. Like people need to find out what fence they land on and then focus on there. Now, if you want to move up a little bit and you're whatever you dream or like the 6-year to 5-year plan like Jerk was talking about, then great. And then while you're doing that, you're gonna start coming across a different type of caliber of people, not just women too, but people. And I'll leave it like that.
But Great Pill, what's the percentage of people, specifically people or black people, black men specifically, that will come outside of their will be raised outside of their social class that they were born into? What's the percentage of people that
see? And that's the and see, and to answer your question, that's the problem too. This is what not you specifically, but this is what triggers me when people throw that buzzword. What's the percentage of thing? Nobody can answer a percentage of that answer you're saying. Nobody's here professionals, nobody here doctors, nobody like we can Google it all day, but isn't a real percentage of that. It's what you perceive when you walk in the door. I can hear M3, and this is me just low-key jerk because M3 my boy. I can hear M3 all goddamn day say like the saddest shit. I'm like, goddamn M3, I bet you come over here, you get women all day. Why? Because you got a goddamn job. Just that's all you need is a goddamn job, and you just be a polite dude. Women, these little thick booty little chicks up here in the South will come at you and flock to you, cook you meals, this, that, third. The fact you brought that little dusty ass cake and that one little stem that flour for $2, they'll suck you off every goddamn night. Every goddamn night.
No, that was
and that's a fact. And that's a
that
fact.
sounds like a low blow.
M3 bought her that dry ass chocolate cake. Her mouth was probably stuck together.
M3, I don't know what it is, but it sounds like a low blow. M3, you better.
This is the point though, and Marcus might say, "Hey, Great Pill, you know what? If you having bad luck where you at, I promise you, come over here. My Latinos brothers and sisters, they got you, man. I can show you a good time. I can go over there, and then be a little bit differently. So it's always different on the grass on the other side when you go.
You'll probably get somebody pregnant.
Exactly my point. So that's what I'm saying. So it'd be a percentage where Marcus, it'd be a different percentage with M3 where he has, a different percentage where I'm at. That's just it.
Okay, so let me say something because I have studied this. I have studied this in my undergrad, and I have taken, economics courses, too many that I don't really care to talk about. There's a very small percentage. Very small percentage of people in the world, let alone in this country, that will make it outside the social class they were born into. Very small percentage. Now, with that being said, and this is what I'm saying, we have to take what the girl said on the chin. What she said is correct. You got to take that on the chin. If you are not making enough to take care of yourself, let alone another person, let alone children, right? Which is 50K, which is 80%, and 80% is making 50K and less. That 80% is not all of them ain't making 50K.
Correct.
That's not what that stat means. So we're talking about extreme levels of poverty here, no matter what the government calls it. You can't send your child to college on that. You can't do much of anything on that if you have rent, let alone mortgage right now. Like you live in pillar to post. That's what you're doing. So it's like, unless you're in a situation where you making $59K and you single and your apartment is like, I don't know, $900 a month, and you don't really have no gas and electric bill, and your car paid off, and you don't have no extra bills, then you might be doing all right. But add in 2 more people, and one of them people being a baby, and health insurance, and dental insurance, and life insurance, and I can go on. 50K and less is not doing it, period. And this is why people are stressed out. This is why relationships ain't working, because they come into them thinking, let's start a life together. I gotta have children. Why do I gotta work just like a man? But because that's the only way that life gonna work, if you have kids and bear children and go to work just like a man. But then you have a sector of the population that says, no, as a woman, if you're gonna be taking care of kids, how you doing that and working like a man? Meanwhile, we got a problem here. It's a conundrum. You're not gonna have a man if you don't go to work just like him. Period. You're not. People need to go to work and have kids at the same time. That's what they need to do.
I'm gonna go after Great Pill. I'm gonna go after Great Pill.
Wait, so
can I respond?
What I'm saying,
yeah, no, you good. Go ahead.
What I'm saying to her is, I understand her motive might not be in the right place, right? But I can recognize the truth where I see it, and the truth is, and I've dealt with men from all tax brackets. Okay, one thing you can't do as a woman is take and be the reason why a man is successful. He needs that on his own. That's what she's talking about when she says you can't raise him. If you are the reason why he's being raised in or out of anything, you can rest assured that's going to eat at his conscience. And unless he can somehow, like Jerk said, turn that into something that's truly, authentically him and not her, most relationships are going to end, because men have a certain ego that is fueled by being in a position of power when it comes to finances. But in this day and age, we're in a very tough position, because it's hard to argue why you're listening to someone as your leader when you can't really operate more than equals. You can't. Like, white men, they truly the leaders of their community. You know why? Because they're savages. The first slaves were white women. They savages. They do everything they do for the reason they do it. They savages. Okay, now you don't agree. I ain't say that so you can agree. What I'm saying is they running shit. No matter how they did it, they running shit. And the white women go to them for permission for rights. The white women get their water from them digging.
Shout out to the snow bunnies.
That's what it is. So at the end of the day, okay, white women can look at white men and say, you know what, I don't respect you because I don't like your personality. You treat me wrong, but I still get protection from you. Whereas other groups of women ain't afforded that same protection for reasons we're not going to get into. And that is something central to women. You have to be able to protect them. And if you can't, they're biologically wired not to fuck with you. That's the reality. So this is why I said we're in a tough position, because in our culture, we've never had a time when we both weren't working. Yet we got to respect each other as if that ain't the case. This is where relationships are going to fucking hell. And I understand that the top lady, what she's saying, but I also understand the reality that the lady at the bottom is also saying. And somehow those two things have to merge at some point. Because if you keep it separate and act like all men is working towards something better for themselves, or act like everybody is a leader, or act like all women are like her, it's like now we in silly man's land.
Well, I think that's why I said earlier, what I mentioned about what she said earlier. I think she is merging what the lady at the bottom saying. She just pretty much coming at it like, hey, it's not different strokes of different folks conversation. I think that's where Kelly's coming at. Far as the white man winning with the white women, I mean, shout out to, I don't know if anybody's seen this before. When we walk out the door, there's white women dating different types of races out there. There's different white men dating different other races out there. So 5, 10, we even say 20 more years from now, everybody gonna be merging. So I mean, shout out to mixed races all over the world.
I'm mixed myself.
Thank you. We're all mixed, bro.
It's funny you should say that, Great Pill, about why white women go to black men. Everybody up on this panel, including Marcus, knows that even though white women dip and dabble, they still retain the protection from white men as a collective. Maybe not individually, but as a collective, white people, white men protect white women, even when white women are with other races of men. However, it does not work the other way around. That's not what the reality is. And if you want to sit here and act like it is, I know that you're being
I didn't say it was or isn't, but I know my reality.
Mention that white women are.
I'm not diminishing anything. I'm trying to respond to what you're saying and get to the second point of it. But I will say this, and I'll keep it moving. I have had whatever white dude, white chicks, whatever. Not if you want to put a percentage on it, maybe 10%, whatever. But in my life, I have had people step up and say, "Hey, it ain't that guy. He ain't the one." Or if I got in fights, broke out the blue in the midst of a crowd, I have had not black but other races step in and just throw hands for me. So it has happened. It's a thing. I get it when other people
giving up their white privilege for throwing.
I get it. I get it when other people see a one-sided fence most of the time and they think it's just all one-sided, and I get it. I'm not blind and stupid like, hey, my red flags, my light bulb do come on instantly because the opposite rate majority must be sometimes white people that say or do some things. I'm like, maybe this racist or not. So I got to kind of filter them out. That's fine. But I know at the same time what actually has happened in real life when shit actually hit the fan and people on the TV and media think like, well, the white people doing this. No, it ain't happened on my end because shit actually happened. I seen the racist side and I seen the people, the ally side of it too. So that is my
what I'm saying have nothing to do with allyship. It has everything to do with the system that we live in, not individuals that want to take up for individuals. Like that's not what that is. No matter what system you're talking about, the one that we're
talking about people.
As a white woman, you are afforded protection against things that white black men and black women specifically are not afforded, because even when you fucking black, you still retain that white man's protection, period. That's the reality that we live in. I'm not going to argue about that. What I'm saying is this. What the lady at the bottom is telling you is that we're in a system that equates men to their money. And if you got women that are making the same amount, if not more, that creates a problem in everybody's mind.
And I heard that, and I'm saying it's not all. And I'm saying
I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is that's
where we're wrong. I said not all.
Listen, do we have to go through that? I'm telling you that we live in a system, a financial system and a government system. Then you want to say not all. Not all what? Not all people live in the system?
Well, real quick, Lola, because I agree what you're saying as far as like people's psyche. Because we heard a lot of guys that would say that, not guys like Gray Pill, myself, M3, and Marcus, because we don't really care like those dynamics. But a lot of guys will say like, "Hey, I don't want a chick to make more than me." Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But I think the way that you're coming at it is more or less like the psychology behind it. Yeah, the issue with the female on the panel, though, she's coming at it from like a disrespect. I'm better, or you know, that agreed type of perspective,
right?
And I think that's the issue is like you said, people typically are gonna, like you were even saying before, hey, what income bracket or social class you're in, you're gonna more than likely align with that. But she's just kind of stepping on everybody. Oh, you're almost not masculine if you don't make money, and I think that's where the issue is, because it's like there's no issue if you want to be with somebody that aligns with you more. That's understandable. But when you're like shitting on people, I think that's where the issue comes for some of those females.
But here's the pushback. When women say, I'm not with him for his money, I'm with him because of the way he make me feel, especially black women, they get the pushback by saying, you are emasculating that man because you're essentially saying that he doesn't have to actually operate as a man with you. As long as he's talking to you and stroking your ego and stuff like that, you'll be the man in the relationship as long as he can sit there and play the feminine position with you, right? Because that's all you need him there for. You don't need him there to be a leader. You just need him there to cackle with you and make you feel good and stuff like that, not actually make a decision in your life. This is the pushback that black women get specifically when they say, hey, I'm not with him for money. I got money. Now we got a different problem. So this is the conundrum in our community that we're dealing with. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. We don't really have a sector where we can say, listen, if you're gonna be here, right, you're gonna be on this side or this side. No, it's whatever thing we want to blame you for that makes the point or whatever. This is just what goes, and this is where the disrespect come from, because you can't respect somebody that doesn't show you that they are just in how they deal with you. That's not a just way of dealing with women. That you tell them that they're delusional and they can't pick right, and this is why they'll never be with anybody and die alone, right? And then turn around and say, why is it that you guys don't want to get with men for their personalities and other than their money? It's like, and if women take the opposite end and say you gotta have money, why you gotta be such a hypergamous bitch? Like, I mean, there is no winning in these conversations. There is no winning. It doesn't matter.
Exactly my point. So why do even people care? Because to me, it just sounds like insecurities. Like, is that much of an argument? Like I'll just use those two for example. Like, is it that serious of an argument for what? Because I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live it. Marcus, Jerk, and M3 gonna live their life how they want to live it, and that's it.
Right.
If we cross each other's boundaries, like, yo, I don't do this, I don't hang with type of people that does that, then guess what? We just cut off from each other's life. Period.
But that's what's been happening. That's why 75% of the population is single, never married, and the other 25%, half of them will be single at some point. This is where we're at. So it is a big.
You guys, real quick, right? I don't want to interrupt you guys. Just back and forth though, which is it's very good and educational. But I gotta get to Marcus because he hasn't really been, he hasn't got a chance to speak for a minute.
Yeah, just real quick. I just want to get this point. We'll toss it to Marcus. So Lola, you're right, because a lot of times in the conversations that's what it is. But Great Pill's right too, where it's just like, I think the good thing is we are having these conversations and we're allowing people to operate in that gray space now, because it's just like you said, everybody pitches them as extremes, because you do have people moving up, women and men. And it's just like, man, leadership's going to look different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I always pose. I'm like, nah, man, if you a guy, you shouldn't be wanting to make every decision if you got a smart wife. Like, my wife make a ton of decisions. I'm like, man, don't come to me with and make the decision to execute, and that's
like, no.
Yeah, so that's why I think we need to start talking about like productivity, efficiency. It's like, shoot, if we both smart and we both out there like hustling for the household, shit, that's the ideal situation. So that I think that's where we gotta start taking those conversations. Like, nah, that's why I always be like, man, stop messing with these broke chicks. Get a chick that's smart, can execute, man. You gonna win. Because I mean, that's what the Asians are doing, and the Asians are on top. What was that?
Jerk. That's not typical Eurocentric culture to say women have to come to the table with actual tangibles, and everybody got to work together based on what their strengths are, based on what their positioning is, and generally speaking, period. Like that right there, what you just said, that's a subculture, because you're not going to find that in the patriarchal system. The patriarchal system says, as a man, you carry everything. Ain't no she help you with shit.
Yeah, but that's not like, but that, to be fair though, that's got to be dying out, because like women, how they was back then, the limitations, no voting, no nothing, and now here we are moving forward. Like women, like, yo, I'd rather like stick my head in the books more. I'd rather get degrees. I'd rather do, like, they're seeing like that same path like Jerk is seeing, like other guys are seeing, like, hey, I see a 5-year plan, I see a 6-year plan, I see a 10-year plan. I just need the other person to move, at least understand that, so we can move together. You know what I'm saying? So and two, I think we did last time we do a stats, women outnumber men like 100-1. So it's like, okay, cool. That's why I said 20 years more, it's gonna be more and more women gonna be in that same path. So either you, what's the old saying? Either you get down or lay down. So
when you say 100 to 1, what country are you referring to when you say women outnumber men 100-1?
United States of America.
Really? Where you get those stats from?
Is that a little over a calculator?
No, we was here. All of us here was last time we went over this. All of us were here. Nobody disagreed.
When we say there's X amount of men in
that's a lot of estrogen.
You do know.
I appreciate
that numbers do lie. because when they say available men, right, on most statistics, they talk about
80% of units
men
in life.
15 years of age to 85 years of age, right? Meanwhile, other statistics will say viable men, which are men that are employed from the ages of 21 to 60. So it's like, and then they say these are the men in America. Meanwhile, we know that's not all the men in America. They only counting certain types of men, adding in people that are not men, like trans men is now part of the numbers and shit like that. So when you say it's 100 men to every woman, I have never had that, and I've been through school and college. It's never been that level of a lopsidedness when it comes to women and men. I've never seen that or experienced that, and I've been in America all of my life.
Men right now, currently, still currently.
What'd you say?
Well, I was just saying, even currently, right? Still, I mean, the majority of men, I mean, I hate to say this, black men, right, are incarcerated. So,
do they count? Do they count in that number?
I will think so. Which that's why.
And when you was in elementary school,
they got a girlfriend in prison.
M3, were you the only male in your class?
Say again, the only male.
Were you the only male in your class growing up, generally speaking?
No, but there was like a lot of women that.
So when you say a lot of women is 51%. That's a lot of women. So, but it's 100 women to every one male. You should generally be the only male in your class, like with that level of disparaging numbers, like in terms of ratio.
If we're gonna do that comparison, since we're doing a classroom, hey fellas, every time y'all actually went to a party, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, bring it to, how many women was there? Like 15 women, like 3 men. Keep it real.
Sometimes it'd be like 2 of them.
When you say invitation, right, that automatically shows that there is a bubble here, right? So that's why I didn't use private invitations and private parties. I'm using something that the public can clearly see, which is a public place based on the environment. Meaning your public elementary school is taking in all the kids in that area. Any given area, if it's 100 to 1, what we're not going to see is more than 2 boys in any given classroom of 20 to 50 kids. However, you're saying there's so many more women than men. And it's like the numbers just don't bear that out. And I know that I've not taken not one statistics class and heard that. And I've taken 2 so far in college. But
you're gonna have to do a stat day and lay these out.
Right. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna take a picture like Lola. Look at all these goddamn women, like 2 dudes there.
If you go on Lifetime television, you're gonna see more women shows than men. Does that mean that there's more women because
hold on. Now you moving the goalpost. You just said public place. They took some TV.
Any place you go specifically where women are mostly gonna be at and men just don't go, it's gonna be more women no matter what the population is.
Count television though, because
she just brought up TV. That's what I'm saying. She said public place.
Okay, walk into a Victoria's Secret store and you're gonna find more women. That does not mean more women.
You're definitely gonna get kicked out of there.
I'm going there. I've been there. I've been there before.
That does not mean that more women are in the community because you find a woman's store and then there's just so happen to be more.
Well, Marcus said that, so that's.
When you go into a men's store.
Wait a minute! I did not bring up Victoria's Secret. Don't tell me that.
More men are here. That's not what that means. Y'all literally show how ignorant you are and how uneducated you are by saying,
like 4 places.
I was invited to a private event and there was 4 women there. Therefore, America is made up of 4 women. That doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't go into any white man's institution and talk like that. You talk like that here because we're black, which shows you don't have no respect for where you're at.
No, let me ask you a question real quick.
I'll go after.
Hold on. We let's get Marcus in there. Marcus supposed to get in about 20 minutes ago.
No, you're good. So back to the conversation that you guys are reacting to. I was actually agreeing with Lola for the most part. When it comes to the viewpoint of what she was saying, not so much of what the other variables were. Mm-hmm. If that's how the woman wants it, it sounds like the woman on the bottom, basically the guy met her check box, like list of check boxes. If that's where we're coming from. Callie's experience is clearly a different one. To the woman up there, I don't know these people, so I'm not really coming at them wrong. This is just fair use and all that kind of stuff, right? This is just our opinions of it. But I was actually agreeing with Lola, which is hell has frozen over, which I don't really always agree with her. But shout out to Lola. The real serious Game of Dragons 4 channels that she has. peace. So, yeah, I also understand where Great Pill's coming from. I think what Lola was trying to say, though, is the proximity environment of people that the classism right there of the people that you're around, like your friends, your family. A lot of them tend to usually linger in the similar economic tax bracket, unless there's that like one or two outliers that have a better business, have a better degree, maybe like a different, more economic, ways of funding. So I think that's maybe where she's coming from. If I'm not correct, am I mistaken, Lola, or is that kind of the point you're trying?
That's fine. Everybody generally is going to be in a certain pool, and that's where they're pulling from.
Okay. So yeah, and it comes to like, rich people will always hang out with the rich people. They'll find ways to stay richer. That's just the same thing. That's a common thing.
Marcus, real quick, let me ask you a question. So out of the two ladies, who you think has the better mindset, just based on what you heard?
To answer that question, it depends on what they want in the relationship or what's their goal, though. So it sounds like the woman in the bottom, if she's family oriented and wants to get married, I guess I'd go with the chick on the bottom if that's what she wants. I don't know much about Kelly, so I don't know. It's hard for me to say what because this is my first time watching them and reviewing them. So if that's what you're basing it off of, I might just go with the bottom just because the whole family dynamic. I think that's where Lola was going at it with it. Correct, Lola? The family dynamic and getting the right person or right partner and coming together. I'm also the kind of guy too that I think too that a woman doesn't necessarily have to have a job if I meet her. It's more the fact of the characteristic trait of not being lazy. You're not being lazy if you're active, if you're trying, if you're doing stuff like that, X, Y, and Z. That is what I show as a good indicator. Like, okay, hey, she may not work a lot or she may work at all, but she takes care of the house. She takes care of X, Y, and Z. She makes sure I'm good. I'll make sure she's good. And that's where the whole pairing and the coupling comes in together. So it's like the turtles of the sea or something like that, So
But
so
also
I get
said 2 income though. She only mentioned 2 income. So if that woman isn't working, that's kind of like a negative on the guy side, just a little bit.
Well, what do you mean? I missed my bad. You kind of choppy.
Because how the world's working out now. That was also Lowe's point.
What I guess what he's saying
Just
that what my point is if you come to a relation, let's suppose she's 29 years old and she's not working. The fact that she's 29 and not working is a question mark. I'm not saying it's a red flag, but it's a question mark. Let's suppose she's not in school, but she's out here just waiting on somebody to pick her up. So she said, I'm not going to work. I'm just going to live off the system and get my social service check until I meet somebody like you. And then she meets somebody like you, and then let's say you lose your job and you need her to go to work because you haven't found a job yet and y'all about to get put out, whatever, y'all got kids. And she said, I ain't work. I'm not trying to work. Now you dealing with a bigger problem because you didn't bring her into the relationship with the understanding that if she needs to work, she has to be able to pull her own weight because that might be called upon her. But according to her, you told her she could stay at home and that's all she cares about. She literally wasn't working when she met you. But if let's suppose Shorty wasn't working because like me, she lost her job and was just doing some odds ends or whatever. But she is a working woman. She will work. She's not lazy. That right there is different because right now you might have a good job to take care of her by yourself and 2-3 kids. But the average man does not have it to take care and put 3 kids through college, to put 3 kids through high school on a minimum salary of less than $50K. They don't have it. Period. And they don't have the security that you might have, Marcus. Like I know some of your background. Most human beings don't have that level of security, but they popping out kids, which is why we have an extreme.
Thanks, Lola.
So you're saying we need to rob?
Yeah,
Marcus.
I get. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Get the. No. I get what you're saying. Like I understand that. So, like, okay. So now I understand more clarity of it because I just want to make sure that we weren't moving the goalposts too much. I understand the whole variables and the statistics of numbers that you were saying because for the most part, economically, most people aren't even making 50K. I think majority of that 80% is making below 40K most likely when it comes to individual incomes, if you want to go by those numbers as well. So yeah, like I said, go for it because I don't want to long stroke it. Like
right. Let's finish out the rest of the video because I think they're gonna break down. They're gonna get into it a little bit.
Each other up in the different ways. You are not supposed to build a man up financially. If you have to build him up financially, he is not your leader. You are his mother.
So I want to tell you this. I'm not building him up financially. What he chooses to do with the information is given is up to him to build. I am giving him solid information that probably wasn't taught. A lot of these men are not taught financial literacy as
So
well
his
as
school
women.
didn't teach him, his mother didn't teach him, his career didn't teach him, his failures didn't teach him, but you finna save him.
No, it's not about
all right.
saving. It's not
All
about
right.
saving anyone. It's not about saving anyone, my love.
You got it,
What
sis.
You know what?
Okay, may I just finish my thought? Because I'm just gonna finish this real quick.
Let us finish, Swin.
It's not about saving anyone. When did we get to a point where we just stop helping a motherfucker out? Like, when did it get to a point where we gotta sit here and be like, you're the man, so you need to pay for everything? If a man comes to me and says, Callie, I got you, don't ever have to open your wallet, of course I'll take a shit. Hell yeah. But if a man comes to me and I love him and he says, Callie, I have everything that I can give you, my attention, my love, my affection, protecting you, I'm just not clear on how to do this. Baby, this is how you do it. Go ahead and do it. Now you choosing to go and move out what I do, that's going to show me that
you're not going to help her at all, Darwin.
You know what's hilarious?
Whoa,
you know what's hilarious? Shan, she came in and asked that question. How do men, the whole insecure man when his woman earns him, and how we feel that way? And then she just came in and cooked herself by saying, I could never respect a man that earns less than me. How do you think a woman who cannot respect a man that earns less than him, how do you think he is treated in that relationship?
Imagine,
I don't think so.
creating a game and then
DJ,
being
you just got
outsmarted
cooked.
in your own game.
All right, you can hit pause. That's the end of it. We'll break this down.
Losing and I'm out hustling you, and I'm making pennies to the dollar that you make. Sir, it's time to go back to the fucking drawing board.
Okay, I get what she repeating herself.
Yeah,
Here's the problem that I have with what Callie just said. She literally just said, if he comes to her and say, I'm trying, whatever, blah, 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 but I don't know how to do something. She said, my response to him is, this is how you do it. I know as a female, if I direct a man to do something that clearly men should know how to do, but I have to direct him, automatically I'm losing respect, whether I say it or not. And what she's doing is she capping. She act like females don't naturally have it in them to lose respect, even if they don't physically exert it. They start losing respect. Like the girl said, if your mother, your father, society, your school, your college, your job, nobody taught you how to do shit but just go work on a cash register. If she gotta come and say, this is how you do it, literally, you are raising that man, quite literally. And here's the thing.
That's not what she said. That's not what she said.
I'm saying that's what it is, period. You are raising him. Because if he's 40 years old, he ain't there to sit and take direction from you. Whatever he want to do is what he want to do. If he's asking you, what should I be doing? We already in deep water right now with no fucking paddles. Like, come on. Like, she's not being honest about how females actually think and move out here in the street. They don't respond like that. Like, oh, honey, let me just tell you what to do so you can go and be successful because I...
That's not what she said.
That's what she said. That's what it is. You can't listen. I don't know how old you is, Great Pill, but you're not listening.
That's not what she said.
That's not what she said. That's what it is. I'm letting you know as a fellow woman, Great Pill, so fall back, that the way we listen is if he coming to me for financial guidance, clearly he don't have it. If I have to give it to him, that means I'm leading him, period.
Lola, I want to ask you a question when you're done.
Go ahead.
Real quick. And then salutes to Wanja Watts. I'm glad you came up here. You know?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Lola. So I get what you're saying, right? I absolutely get what you're saying. And I know that tends to dry women up real quick if you feel like you're raising a man. But in this particular case, right, she is talking about from a help me type of stance. Here's the thing: if a woman, if that's how women feel, what is the purpose of having a woman in your life? You like this is for men to like really think of, right?
Let me answer that for you real smooth. Like you just said you need to help me. Hold on, let me answer that real smooth for you.
Hold on, I'm still continuing. Because if you can't really actually like kind of like allow that woman to like really like be in that space like where like she could at least give you some type of advice that can help benefit for the relationship, then it's like, what are they used for? Are they only used for one thing that most men like?
That's not what we talking about.
Because this woman, clearly this woman is talking about she's trying to help her man. She's not trying to raise her man. But if there's something that he has not been taught, obviously the system failed him. His parents failed him. His mother failed him. The teachers.
Maybe it was his own choices too.
Yeah,
Lola said that struggle love. She said she ain't struggling with you niggas out here. Get it, Lola.
But obviously, right? He's asking for some type of advice because she has something that she could really attain and actually give that.
Let me explain it to you the way women see it. M3, okay? The way women see it.
She's speaking for all women now.
I'm speaking. Yeah, I am because I'm a woman. The way women see it is the way when you talk about help me. Let's suppose you're a guy, right? And you say, and let's suppose you're a man, and you say, I want to do something, and I have the idea to do something, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her to help me in a specific way. I know what I want to do, and I need her help to get me there, and I need her to do something specific. That's you still being a leader. That's still you holding the ship down, and you need her help. And if she's there to do it, she's a help me. But if you don't know what the fuck to do, and I'm talking about when it comes to basic finances, and you need her to guide you, y'all can talk this dumbass shit all you want, but this is why females be talking to you crazy, because you sitting there putting them in positions that they shouldn't have to be in, and when they do have to tell you what to do, they feel like they can tell you what to do.
But what if it's a professor? You know what I mean? Like,
I got a question for Lola.
Go to school, right? And you just encounter like a female professor, right? That could educate you about financial literacy. That's the same thing. Like
going to a professional for paid services is not the same as asking your bitch.
That's actually fair. That's fair.
I ain't gonna lie, M3. I was a little extreme too. When
So wait a minute, M3. You're not comparing a banker or financial advisor to your chick, right? You're not doing that, right?
He probably is, man.
What I'm just trying to say is that, everyone has something that they're good at, right? And then there's everyone that has something that they lack in. So Lola, if you needed some type of help, right, it don't have to be something financial. It could just be learning how to cook in the kitchen and make a cooked sandwich.
Cooking a sandwich.
And if you're not good at it, I could give you some type of advice. I could teach you how to make a cooked sandwich or whatever for Marcus. I'm just using my
you. Oh my God! Stop talking! Stop talking! Stop talking!
No. I'm running through this. I'm running through this.
Talking about sandwiches and professors. What the fuck we doing?
Look, because obviously Lola's going to I get it. I respect your opinion, Lola, right? But you got to understand, right? There's nothing wrong with a woman being a good service to a man by just helping him with certain things that he's lacking in. As long as he's still taking charge, as long as he's providing for the household and the needs and the responsibilities.
Now you talking about the minutia. You saying as long as now we got the clause. You can do that as long as. Now the as long as is what's taking 85% of men out.
Can someone define minutia and how you spell it?
Minutia means the small dumb shit. That's what minutia means.
Small dumb shit. Hey yo, the day Webster defines as the small dumb shit. I swear to God.
I was gonna say Urban Dictionary or Webster's Dictionary. I need to know ASAP.
Listen, that's what it is. Okay.
Let's get Gray Pill. You said you had a question, and then let's get 100 in there.
Yeah. M3 kind of started with it when she was talking about financial literacy. She said
with the sandwich part.
Hell no. Way before that. She was talking about if a guy don't know basic, I guess you're saying basic financial. Yeah, thank you. So what's your definition of basic financial literacy for a man for you?
Basic literacy is understanding that money in versus money out. Basic literacy is understanding that if you don't make investments, you can't expect profit. That's basic literacy. Stuff
like is it one step level that it's just understanding basic credit scores?
understanding credit scores is not basic, because credit is not a one thing. Like it has too many variables for you to come in and think, oh, I went to high school, so therefore I understand it.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So the same thing like money in coming out. So wouldn't that be in the same level of that when you're talking about credit?
No, credit is beyond basic. Credit is now you going a step above. Basic is what we talking about. Basic.
Within the minutia.
Yeah, in the minutia.
I can understand. Look, I can understand what she's saying, because if you don't even have the ability to look at your paycheck and see that your paycheck is $2,000 and you're spending $2,500, if you don't have the ability to do the math to see that you are at a negative $500 deficit, you kind of behind the curve.
Well, see, that's my point. That's my point. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, at the basic level, if you don't even have the ability to see that you have $2,000 coming in, but you're spending $2,500, then as a man, you are kind of behind the curve of expecting a woman to follow your leadership.
Okay. Now I get that, right? But here's the thing, right? Let's use that same number. Say, you know what? Fuck it. We'll use that same number, 2,000, right? But there is guys or women too that's still spending not above, but like if it's 2,000 coming in, it's 2,000 going out. Equal exchange on what they're making. Check in, check out. So the early in the conversation I was telling Lola is like, hey, there is people on both lanes. Like I'm gonna tell you a funny story. This place I used to work at, right? This guy saw his check and he said, hey, I got $300. He said, shit, I'm good. That was how he was, because he said 300, as long as he can make at least $300 a week, he know his rent, his lights, his car insurance, he got gas in the car, and he probably can hold in his pocket maybe $50 to $100 and can keep it doing again based on how many hours he's putting in per week. That was that dude, right? But then he was dating a girl, could be on the same mindset, like, yo, if she's making 500, his 300, and then now he's saving 100, she's saving 200 side, they was okay. That was my whole point with Lola, was just on the there's somebody for somebody type dude out there for somebody in a relationship. Now I get it. Now if you find somebody, let's say on Lola's lane, like, hey, well, the money deficit, I'm trying to invest and grow a little bit and save a little bit more based on like what I see more out in the world to offer. And then she come across a guy like that, make that comment like that, $300. She's like, you're not for me. Then I get, you know what I'm saying? But I think a little bit of the head button part is with me and Lola is like, hey, there is those people out there. I think when people have their own self-intent and what they want with themselves first and the relationship moving forward or who they come across, they still have to say, hey, there are guys out there like that. Don't shit on them now, but if they're not for you, just say, hey, you're not for me, and move forward. Same thing with women. But there are women, no respect to Lola, there are women that make those type that like money and got the investment, got houses, and some might even go further like land and stuff like that and got their own little stuff business. Shout out to the Airbnbs. There are women like that, but they'll see a guy like, look, I'm at, okay, 20, okay, whatever, I'll play around the field, whatever. 30, okay, still not making for me. I get to like close to 40. You know what? Let me start really thinking like what I really want in a guy. If this guy is a little bit more open thinking to the helping part, mate, like M3 was saying, hey, well, I'm making 800 K a week. I don't really know what to do with my money, but I come across a woman like that. I'm like, hey, well, I can help you out. Or I can give you some suggestions on your investment. And that guy's willing to like fall in to listen. That doesn't mean that he's being trained by her or he's been led by her. It's like, look, I'm getting some solid advice that maybe my other peers, hey, my own homies, M3 ain't give me no good advice here, man. Jerk ain't give me no good advice either, man. Marcus ain't giving no good advice, but I come across this woman that's actually like pouring into me, like, look,
I ain't.
I got you. And then he's like, okay, cool. Then you know what? And they come up together. It's you do have that side time dynamic, but I think that's where me and Lola button heads on that part is like I guess the guy, she feel like the guy who come across that type of woman will be like, well, he's gonna feel insecure, he's gonna feel this way. I'm like, look that if a chick knows something I don't know, and I'm on that like back in the day, my grandmother, great grandmother, like working like mules and stuff like that. And then somebody like, look, I see you busting your ass. You want to play smart? You want to play dumb? What you mean? Here's some tips for you. Okay, bet. Come back around. Hey, Sweetie, I appreciate you. You told me XYZ worked out. What else you got for me? Okay, got this. You know what? Bet. Now I'm gonna go on my own, try to figure out and come back and try to impress the chick. Like, hey, I figured out this, I got that. I even learned some more about it. Okay, now she's gonna look at me like a little bit different, like, oh, okay. Then we move forward. That's all I'm saying.
So I hear what you're saying, Greg Hill, but at the same time, the majority of men do not ask what you're asking for and do not respond the way.
Madam, wear you down. You go for majority. Thank you.
So the thing is, and we can talk about majority versus minority, but to your point about that, here's the thing: if let's suppose you illiterate, but you making $1,000 a week,
that's true. That's true.
You know,
how to read.
She said, yo, you can be stupid as shit, but you can be still making some money.
No, that's true.
But hold on, but you are a man and you bringing in money to take care of your family, but you can't read and you need your wife to direct your funds. At the end of the day,
shout out to Al Bundy.
Hold on. At the end of the day, right? You are still in control. You are still earning for yourself. You are allowing her to help you. You're not asking her to do you favors because you don't know what to do. You told her, hey, take my money down to the bank, fill out some paperwork, and put it here. That's what she's there for, to help you. If she wants to give you advice on something, right, that's fine. But if what she doing is directing your program, that is something in real relationships that don't go over well. Men do not like when a chick directs their program. I can come to my man right now and say, I see that you want to do this. Why don't I help you invest in this machine over here? And then you can, it'll make what you're doing better. That's
Lola.
me. Hold on, stop. That's me being a helpmate. But if I tell him, listen, your career ain't working, I know some people over here, you should go hit my man's up and do something different. Now we're talking about redirecting him. And all I'm saying is this, it might work out better, but men don't do well when you are directing them or redirecting them away from what they truly want to do. If you're a woman and you want to give him advice, give him advice. But the problem is, with the example the girl said, is he doesn't know what to do. And he's asking her, well, what do you want me to do? What should I do? That no man should be in no position like that when leading a woman. Now, if that's your sister, cool. But if that's your chick that's relying on you to take her someplace, even if you don't know what to do, go ask another man. Don't ask her. Ask another man. Ask your father. Ask another bitch you don't give a shit about.
I'm actually agreeing with Lola mostly now.
Hey, I'm gonna have to agree with Lola.
M3 just said earlier, she shot M3 down.
What?
M3 basically just said that like a moment ago. You like, no.
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
Hold on.
I don't know, but that's
Let's
not.
go back to the sandwich. Maybe the sandwich is a more healthy conversation, but whatever.
Yeah, it did sound like that.
Okay,
but, Lola, real quick, I got a quick question.
Yeah, hold on for you guys. So,
go ahead.
Clarify this, right? So, I mean, before I had to kind of
just talk to his banker.
Yeah, I mean, before I had to kind of like put some humor into the conversation, right? So you guys could be able to understand.
Oh, nigga, you was for real about that one.
Hold on. Shooting from the script. That's not what I said. What I'm saying is, if you need help with your funds, right, your money, your job, your manhood, don't ask your bitch about how you should make money, how you should deal with your manhood. Ask another man to help you. Ask somebody else. But if you need help from her to do what you are trying to do, that's one thing. But if you don't have shit and you don't know what the fuck to do, never show a female that you're responsible for that you don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, but that was the whole. Yeah, but that was the whole point. Like, okay, if I was in a position where I'm just flat out irresponsible or whatever, right?
Like a lot of people.
I shouldn't even be in no relationship.
Or slow.
Like a lot of people.
Yeah, okay, but if I'm just looking for some type of advice, let me be really specific, right? So all jokes to the side. Let's just say like I was making $10,000 lower, right? But I'm spending $5,000. I'm like, okay, I'm spending $5,000. I'm not thinking about it. I still have $5,000 left over. But if my woman is giving some type of advice that's like, hey, like, look, I can help you save an extra $1,000, so that way, you could spend $4,000 and be able to save $6,000. Yeah, I'm going to come to her and be like, all right, baby, like, okay, like, what you got?
Right, she's offering you. Yeah, she's offering. That's not you asking her because you don't know what the fuck to do. She's offering some shit.
Yeah, but that goes even still to a point that's like, okay, well, you know something, obviously that what I don't know, and maybe I wasn't taught based off of like what you're advising me. So I'm open to listen. It's not
Right.
that we're
You're
just
listening.
yeah.
You're not relying on her to do shit. You're listening to her.
But what if it's good advice though, Lola? What if it's good advice?
I'm just open for the advice. That's all I was just trying to
good advice though, Lola?
Being open to advice is one thing. A chick leading you financially is something else.
I get that part. We all get that part.
I don't think you.
I mean,
Yeah, there's a big difference there. There is a
Explain the difference though, Watts, because I swear to God, Callie and Emily said the same fucking thing.
So here's the difference.
Watts.
No. Here's the difference. Here's where I'm understanding the difference, right? There is a difference between a man who is receiving advice versus a man that needs teaching. There's a difference there.
Can you give an example?
A man that has, so the example that M3 just gave, right? If this man is making $10,000 a month and he is spending below his means, he doesn't need her to teach him how to maneuver his money because he already has a system that's in place for him to spend less than he makes. So he already has a financial understanding that she doesn't need to teach. But if this man is making $10,000 and he's spending $12,000, he needs to be taught how to manage his money. There's a difference there because the man that is saving money is coming into the situation with a mindset and an understanding already versus the one who has to be reconstructed in terms of his mindset. There is a big difference there.
So Lola, you're more or less like, I ain't teaching you shit. I'll enhance.
No, here's the reason why wait, hold on. The reason why I say I don't teach, I don't got no time to teach men is because you will never teach a man. He's not biologically wired for you to be teaching him. That's just not what you're gonna do.
Okay.
What you finna do, right, is tell him what to do. And if he the type that's gonna follow it, he gonna follow it. And then when shit get to being said and it come back up that he don't have ideas and he always asking for your assistance and you have to direct him, and when as a female, because your nature says if you can direct him, then you're gonna direct him. You're gonna direct him in some shit that he don't want to be directed in, but you think he should. Then that other shit gonna come up, and then she gonna say, well, if you let me direct you here, why can't I direct you here? I thought you needed my help. You seem like you need this, and now we into some more other shit that in reality you shouldn't have let her do that in the first place, because when she get to telling you what to do, that's all the fuck she gonna do is tell you what to do.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Hold on, wait a minute. My mother has never given my father financial advice. My mother has never told my father, this is what you should do because I know more than you. My father has listened to her perspective every day, but he made the decision. She's telling him what she think about what he already doing, and he's saying, you know what, I like your idea, or I don't, and I think I'm doing something else. But my mother is never in control of like trying to
100. Where you're pointing at?
ignorant. Like, no, that's not what that is.
The comment he just put up there that Yella said. That right there. Okay, so cool. Check me out. Yella, this is how I think about that. If you are a man and you are leading your household, okay, and you need to gain information, I see this the same as the owner of a company going to his employees looking for the answer to a problem. Like, sure, you can do that. Like, if you do that, sure, you can sugarcoat it, and I want to make my employees feel like they're involved. Like, you can sugarcoat it this way, but I guarantee you, I promise you right now, if the owner of a company has a problem and has to go to the employees to figure out how to solve it, and I'm not talking about the high level managers, I'm talking about just the regular employees. If he just decides to walk up to the employees and say, hey, yo, I got this problem, how do I fix it? The employees are now going to start looking at him different. Oh, damn, Playboy don't even know what he's doing. Like, he don't even know what the fuck, why I'm following history. He don't even know what the fuck he's doing. So as a man, if you're leading your household and you don't even have the information to come up with solutions to your problems, and you go into the people that you're supposed to lead to say, how do I get us out of this problem? You're kind of looked at a little differently now. Like,
but he asked, who do you go to? My thing is, if you're a teenager, you go to your father. You go to the next man in your life.
Can I just add something real quick to it? Let me just add something real quick. So the three ways you can learn something is clearly you ask questions, you observe from somebody else, or trial and error. That's how you're honestly going to learn.
Thank you. A simple answer to a simple question, and people talking about something. That's what he said, and that's not what he said. He asked how. How?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Hey, Lola, real quick.
What the crux of what I'm saying is, there's people you should not ask because it's not proper. Because you can ask them, but like Watt said, it's going to cost you later on, especially when we talk about relationships and women. These are two things that you should not confuse with your employer.
Yeah,
but hold on. If you don't know what to do, ask someone who has experience in that. But there's certain things, not everything, but it's certain things you can't go to your chick about.
So Lola, you're pretty much looking at it like the long term impacts. Like if a guy goes down that lane and stuff. So you said one thing, I caught that.
What's the worst thing these niggas in this space talk about? How bitches talk to them, right?
Jesus.
How she don't respect.
Amen.
Why you think chicks lose respect? Because they start thinking that they better than him on some level. Now, what level is that, you might ask? Well, why do they think they better? Because, you know, what is that? They all bleed the same.
And this is my problem right here. We keep talking about what these guys and these women and these bitches and these niggas saying in panels. I don't care what these guys and bitches saying in these panels. I'm talking about real life stuff.
What real life niggas are saying the same thing that they saying on panels. I have seen.
No, they living on the panels 12, 11 hours, swearing they do it. They not.
No,
they
in
not.
Real life, no, in real life, niggas sit and put hands on bitches for talking to them crazy.
Oh yeah, they do that. Oh yeah, I think that.
In real life, people are outside.
I see plenty of both of them do it on each side.
That too,
in real life, people out here getting real divorces over that. In real life. So this is what I'm saying. I get it. It is a panel discussion, but these people on the panels live in real life. They bringing in real life issues to the fucking panel.
Okay, Lola, let me ask you a question, right? Let's take money out of the equation. So let's say the guy didn't know what to do. Let's say it could be like some type of like a certain type of skill. Okay. All right. Picture this.
Making sandwiches?
No. I mean, that's Marcus's job at this point, right? I'll pass it to him. But let's say, like, okay, I needed like.
Says the guy who doesn't know numbers. Okay.
You fucked up now.
I need to learn how to like build a website.
Say again.
And you have that ability. You know how to build a website. Okay. Again, I'm taking money out of the equation on this part, right? Let's say no one taught me. Everyone failed in my life. Hell, I failed myself. Okay. I don't know what the hell to do, right? But now I'm coming to you, Lola, and I'm like, because you have that experience. So if I'm like, look, Lola, can you help direct me how, which means teach, right? Teach me how to build a website besides like ChatGPT, Gray Pill, right? Don't ruin this.
Wow.
That's also going to be like a similar issue to you.
No, because in any relationship, you learn from each other in passing. Meaning this, every relationship I've ever been in, I've learned in passing something about whatever that man was passionate about. Like I've dealt with dudes that, you know, were actual music producers and writers. I've dealt with men that were mechanics. I've dealt with men that owned their own business. I've dealt with men that were working in certain fields. I've, in passing, learned about, they taught me something about how to do something, just period, from just being around them. Every person who has ever been with me, because I'm an artist and I have lots of material around, like for art, everybody that get with me know how to edit better, know the dynamics of art better. They like, that's just a thing. Every person that get around me learn different jargon and law, because I have a law degree. So it's like you learn different things just from being around me. Now, to your point, if you got a project that you want to do and she is a good website developer, right? If you say, well, listen, That's my girl. Let me go learn something from her, right? You're learning something from her to push your agenda forward. You're not asking her, can I learn from
Focus
you?
on your purpose.
No, your purpose is I need a website. You know how to do websites, and I don't want you to do my shit. I want to learn on my own. So because me and you in a relationship, teach me. That's one thing, but you're still in control. You're not reliant on her. It's just a matter of you utilizing the, let's say, the gift that is there, but you are not reliant on her, period. It's just a thing. Like, she should be saying, let me do it for you. But if she wants to, as Jesus said, teach you how to fish, that's a matter of learning in passing. But you're not coming to her saying, should I have a website? Do you think it's good for me to have a website? That's different than saying, hey, I want a website. Teach me how to do it.
Well, let me go there, Lola, right? What if I'm not really certain because I don't know about like this whole website stuff and I'm trying to start my photography business, but I literally asked you, hey, Lola, right?
Let me ask you something, M3, personally. Let me ask you something. What business do you know that operates without a website?
What business do I know that could operate without a website? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other businesses that could operate without
a legal one. A legal one.
Name one.
Name one that I don't know.
No, you know if a legal business can operate without a website. You know how many can operate without a website.
How many that could operate without a website?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple.
Maybe a few, but I can't.
I'm asking for one.
I can't give you the name of it.
Agriculture.
Nigga.
Really, nigga?
Really, I'm being honest. You said landscape construction. I helped my dad do his business without a website.
First of all,
I'm coming to you because I don't know shit. So that's why I'm
when we say agriculture, right? Every agricultural company has a website and a number.
Not every a number is not a website. There's a difference, Lola.
Let me tell you something. There's certain things as a business, right? If you're going to be a legit business, you have to have. You can Google that shit. You don't have to ask a bitch. Do you think I should be registered under my business so I can claim taxes and write shit off? You can Google shit like that. But again, if you ask her and say, well, what should this business look like? Nigga, that's her business at this point.
Hey, can I respond to Marcus?
Take the wheel.
So Lola, I'm getting what you're saying now. So you're pretty much telling us about female nature. You're saying female control freaks.
If I tell you what to do, the next time I see you slipping even a little bit, guess what? You ain't gonna have to ask. I'm telling you what to do.
What were you gonna say, Great?
Lola threw the sisterhood under the bus today, y'all.
I ain't throwing them under the bus.
Can I respond to Marcus? So
I'm not.
Marcus,
No, I'm not. I'm just being honest.
Hey. To answer Marcus, because Marcus gave one perfect legal example, and then it helped out in 3. Mobile hairdressing or barber, that's 1. Cleaning service, that's 2. Delivery or couriers. Can I finish, please? Delivery. Can I finish, please?
These are all legitimate. Everything Great Post saying is legitimate, like reasons.
How do people get
I'm being cut off, please. I'm being cut off. Delivery or courier service. Tutoring or home work help, pianist, guitar lesson, handyman or repair
I didn't say services,
DJ
sir.
Or someone cut me off. I'm trying to finish. I got 2 more. DJ or event services, car wash and detailing, and
somebody mute him because nobody asked him about services. We said a company registered with the fucking government.
You said legal services.
I didn't say legal services. I said
that's not what you asked. That's not what you asked.
But Lola, hey Lola,
that's what you asked.
Hey, check me out. Okay, cool. Most of those companies that you name probably don't have an official website, but I bet you they have a social media account.
That's why I said
that's 50-50. That's 50-50. I'll give you that. 50-50. I'll give you 50-50.
Okay. So come on, that counts as a website. Come on, fam. Look, what Lola is saying right now, I understand exactly what she's saying.
Like you about to glaze.
Right. The minutia. Go ahead, the minutia.
Cool. Hey, y'all pull out a whole dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts and scrape the glaze off. I give a fuck. Anyway.
Wow.
What I'm saying is this. Look, there are, hey fellas, a lot of you niggas ain't did enough work to lead. Come on, fam. If you talking about real life, because Great Peel said he want to talk about real life. So let's talk about real life. There are plenty of men that have not had the experience to develop leadership skills. There are plenty of men that have not had the ability to have someone teach them, show them, explain to them, see examples of, be in the place where they can exercise their leadership skills. Many men have not had that.
Can I respond to that? I don't know, man.
After you're done cutting me off, you can.
Sure, go ahead.
Many men have not had the experience to develop those leadership skills. Some men develop those leadership skills later. And the problem is there are some men that are in the JV level that are looking for varsity level benefits. Like, hey, cuz, sometimes you got to take the time to develop your skill before you think you're going to get some of this stuff from these women. So, for example, a woman that feels like she's going to teach you something, hey, bro, I promise you, in order for her to do that, you have to have a high value in something else. There has to be something else that you're functioning well at for her to even want to take the time to teach you how to build a website.
May I respond to Mr. 100 Watts, please? All right. First of all, I just saw a horror movie last night. That fucking doll is creeping me the hell out. So I don't know if it's that's just number one. Okay. Two, it's creeping me out.
That shit look like voodoo.
I don't know. It might move. It might move on me.
Don't be a bitch, Great Pill. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, that shit start moving. Hey, I'm cutting this live off.
Number two, I don't walk out my door and run around and look at what dudes doing for their lives, all day, every day. That's just not how I move. I can see if we got close friends, male friends, or family members, and they might struggle a little bit. We know them cousins and uncles. Like, it might be the ones that always asking for $1 or $2, and them cousins knocking at your door like, "Hey, cuz, can you hook me up with a ride?" And we're like, "Hey, we got gas," and they start tapping their pockets and lying. No, they don't got no gas. We know those people, but it's not everybody. And as far as these levels, and I get it, because again, I've said it before. Morgan Freeman's a perfect example. He started and come up like in his late 60s, 70s, rich actor doing his things. Everybody quoting everything he do as memes now. It is what it is. Sometimes people learn at an early age and they 12, 18, 19, 21s, and some figure it out later, 30s and 40s, right? But here's the thing though, when they do, majority of them, I can't speak for all, but when they do figure it out, and if they're trying to play the woman card, they still need to understand their intent while they're moving that way. That's it. That is pretty much it.
I don't know what we're missing, because I'm not saying that you shouldn't teach people something. If somebody asks to learn something, you should be open to teaching, because knowledge is given freely. Like, truly, knowledge is free. So you should freely give knowledge. However, I do understand the dynamics of relationships and leadership within relationships, especially in 2025. It's certain things that you can learn from your woman, and it's certain things, even if you need to learn, if you go to her for, it's going to create an imbalance within your relationship. And therefore, when that imbalance get to really imbalancing, essentially your relationship is just going to be done, because there's certain things men cannot handle when it starts happening in relationships. And when they don't feel like they're in control anymore, this becomes more of a problem than not. So my thing is, before it even gets down that road, is certain things as a man you shouldn't even be bringing to your woman. It's certain things that you can, but you have to know the difference between when you're in a position of leading and asking for her opinion, or asking for her to help you in something you're doing, versus you don't know what to do and you need her to spark some shit for you. Like, again, if you want her to lead you, that's fine. You have a right to do that. But I'm telling you now, as a Black woman that came up in some of the harshest environments, that live in some of the best circumstances now, women are not wired to respect men that they see as anything that they're taking care of, or they're leading, or they have to guide in any sense. If a woman get that sense about you, you can rest assured she gonna be telling you what to do, and you gonna be telling her get the fuck out your face, and then she gonna be telling you you ungrateful ass nigga, and then next thing you know, it's gonna be back to the minutia.
Well, let's put that in theory. Get the fuck out my face. Let Jerk and all of us close out because he tired.
Hey, real quick, because I did want to ask Lola a question, because don't you think that we probably need to condition ourselves to, I'm not going to say like dramatically, we got to teach somebody like that's far off from you, but it seems like, say, for example, I'm just going to use you, like you're highly intelligent. So more than likely, you're going to be smarter than most people, you know, guys that you probably going to come across. Because, you know, once you start getting to certain levels of education, finances, you know, it's not going to be a lot of people in that tier. So it's almost like you're going to have to drop down a little bit, not too far off from where you're at. You see what I'm saying? And you're probably going to have to teach to some capacity. Do you think we need to start looking at it a little differently from that then?
No, because like with me, I got several degrees, right? And the dude that I'm dealing with, he don't have a degree. However, he is smarter than me when it comes to life skills, even though
okay.
Like when it comes to life skills and how to handle certain situations out in life, he thinks quick. His IQ is higher than mine. I've been in school for most of my life, so my academic IQ is definitely on 1,000. But when it comes to life skills and how to manage and take like physical shit, like if we was out in the woods, he would be my only like lifesaver for real. Like in nothing I learned in school can help. Nothing. Okay, not one thing. Nothing. So this is what I'm saying. Like we can learn from each other, but there's still a certain level of respect that men have to have for themselves, like somebody said earlier, that has to precede this learning thing. Because again, it ain't just about you. It's about people. People are gonna do what humans do. And humans lose respect real quick over the smallest things. So for instance, you leading your family, right? But then when you walk, she notices that you kind of twitch a little bit, like you switching. Now it's just a normal walk, but she says, it look like he's switching or something. I don't know. That shit could look. I mean, he all right, but he's switching when he walk. Do you know there's some women that will leave you where you stand because of something as small as that? Yeah, they out there. A lot of them, more so than what you can imagine. So what I'm saying is I don't put faith in nothing but what I know, which is human nature. Human nature says, do not put yourself in no position for you to lack respect from somebody that you need it from in order for shit to work. Because again, women don't, like the lady said, we don't like feeling like we got a third child. We don't like feeling like we raising you. We don't like feeling like we guiding you. We like to give you our opinion and to see that you value what we think. But if we get the notion, even for the smallest moment, that we're the reason why you thinking, yeah, nah, we not gonna respect you.
But see, I think you kind of, I understand a little bit more now what the issue is with the lady that was on the panel that was at the bottom. Because like you said, she was spitting some truth, but I think with you, you're able to see value in things outside of like you said, you had a lot of education, but he had like real life experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think a lot of females, like the one that was on the panel, they look at it just from one prism and they can't see the value in other things. So I think that's her issue.
Yeah, they fighting on that. They fighting on the panel. They fighting back and forth. And I see the value in both of what they saying, but I think in reality, like they on two different spectrums dealing with two different types of dudes. Like one girl, you could be 20,000 and making, and she love you to death. Other girls like, yo, I got kids and a family, and I got things I'm trying to do in like 20,000. If that's where you at, bro, nah. But they both correct. They ain't lying. It just ain't coming together because that's just how diabolical situations is. I don't know who in the middle at this point.
Yeah. And that's what you was talking about, Gray Pill. You were talking about the nuances and stuff, right? Because the Gray Pill hate the one side shit.
Yeah, because it's just dumb, man. Especially, like, I get it. Like, if you're giving advice from your experience, because it's your experience, like, you know, you're married, I'm not, I'm single. So you're going to give your perspective. Like, you can go down the road like, hey, I remember back in the day and stuff like that. And that's fine. I can take that too because I'm on that same lane. But on a marriage level, like I got homeboys 10 years, 15 years married, and they're going to give their perspective, like what's now, what's happening with them. And that's it. But I can't really go to them and reminisce too much like, hey, I got a hoe, I got a girl, I got a friend with benefits too much. You know what I'm saying? That conversation ain't going to last that long with them because they're like, look, I move forward with what I got going on. Like, it's not going to work. But if anything else, like the stuff Laura's saying, it'll come in up, down, left, and right with other women I meet. Because again, like I think Dr. Quanah was saying about the taxes. I don't know taxes that much like I should be knowing, but if somebody coming around and feed me that information, I'm grabbing that bitch and running with it. I'm not gonna sit there like and be like, oh, she leading me and she's committed. No, I'm not doing that. It's just somebody gave me some sound advice. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna run with it. Me personally, just me, I'm a type of person that, hey, if I get a whiff of one thing, I like to dive deep on something and try to figure out more stuff of my own. And I might come back around and me and this person have that same back and forth a little bit. That's just pretty much how I roll. But if I don't know and somebody telling me something or teaching me something or give me some sound advice, I'm gonna take it. I don't care who you are. Be goddamn cat for all I care.
I don't think I believe I said don't take good counsel or good advice. I'm saying
Well,
that
I ain't petty tonight because I'm gonna time check the hell out of this goddamn stream, but I ain't gonna.
Lola did call you Forrest Gump though.
Yeah, she did.
She said you out here borderline retarded and stuff. In her scenario, she ain't say directly, but that's the picture she painted.
Yeah, it was implied. Yeah, it was implied. I caught that.
No, he gave an example. He said,
"Yeah, you agreed," and I was
and I'm saying and that's a good example. Like you want to
disagree with the jerk. Okay, we're good.
It's a good example. He want to start a business, so he asks her. Well, the female, should I have a website? Now, she said, no, I don't think you should have a website. And mind you, he's doing something where he needs people to be able to go on the site and be able to give orders and stuff like that. Like, and she said, I don't think so because I don't want you having that level of back and forth on your phone at night. That's just how, whatever reason, right?
Okay, I got a question for you as a woman perspective.
That's her opinion. Now, if you go with what she said, right, that's going to lead to something else, and something else going to lead to something else, but the end of it, Gray Pill, is going to be her feeling like, hey, I'm in control. Hey, I'm telling you what to do because, hey, I am in control and I am telling you what to do. You doing what I'm telling you to do because you want to satisfy me, not because you have a plan of your own.
Okay, I got another example, right? From a woman's perspective, because you clearly the queen goddamn bee. 100 watts, right? Said something about the $2,000 scenario. So let's just say, for example, hypothetically speaking, me and you're dating 3 months in, you're at my place, I'm happy to doing my taxes, and you just happen to and you're seeing me like, hey babe, what you doing? And I'm telling you like, hey, I'm doing my taxes. You see something a little bit differently that I don't see. Do you correct it? Like, how would you approach that? If you see me 3 minutes, and if you see me spending more than what I'm earning, how would you approach that? Now, mind you, 3 months in dating.
First of all, if you doing something, and I notice that you are doing something wrong, but you are doing something, me saying, hey, if you click that button over there, or if you do that, that's gonna be better based on the situation here. And I'm a tax person, right? That's not me directing you. That's me helping you where I see you need help. Okay, but if you come to me and say, hey, should I file my taxes this year? Okay, that's a.
Now you changing the scenario, Lola. So
I'm changing it because
Gray Pill, he's sitting there, he's doing his taxes. So you know it's an error.
Because him sitting there doing his taxes shows that he's doing some shit. He's not asking her, well, should I file taxes?
He's dyslexic. He's fucking the numbers up, and you see it. You're glancing at the screen. You're like, what the fuck is Gray Pill doing? How do you handle that situation?
This is what I'm saying. He's taking what I'm saying and he's going off the deep end. I'm not saying you shouldn't help each other out. What I'm saying is you shouldn't be directing his program. But here's the thing, Great Pill. If a chick can direct your program and you don't know the difference between directing your program and just helping you, listen, life will teach you, like somebody said, life will teach you, but I can't over explain it to you. Men that hear what I'm saying, that know the difference, they pick up on the nuances. But if you feel like, nah, trust me, life will teach you. I ain't gonna keep having to say it. Like I'm telling you, as a black woman, we don't respect you when we see that we can move you and direct you. But hey, you keep on doing what you think is right based on the females that worked out for you.
You know, I wouldn't even say like as a black woman because
did we like that answer from Lola? Is that acceptable? There was a lot of aggression in that answer. Did she answer the question?
Nah, she's full of shit.
Yeah, I kind of feel it, but Lola,
you know, it's a lot of scenarios. Like again, if you're in the house and something, because it's always again, this is where the nuance part come in. If me and the girl or you and your spouse is sitting in the house together, conversation's gonna come up. Babe, what you're doing? Oh, I'm doing my taxes. Oh, babe, what you doing? I'm doing my budgeting. Okay, dude. Now the fact that she says she's doing taxes, we're gonna already have that understanding 3 months in. I don't know taxes. She knows taxes. I don't know too much about budgeting. She know budgeting. So 3 months in that damn relationship and we're in the house together, somebody gonna ask somebody the question. Is it gonna be me or her? But on Lola's end, it's like, oh, well, if that person asks, goddamn it, one's leading. Like, no, it's not. It's not one is trying to be a helpmate based on their skill set at that moment.
Did you not hear me say that she should help if she see him making a mistake on his taxes? I said that first. But what I also said is he's doing his taxes. He's not asking her for direction.
Technically, it's TurboTax doing it, but okay.
Okay, well, he's filing his taxes, okay? He's not asking her for direction. She's giving him some help. She's not the reason why he's doing anything. He's already on his mission. This is just an example.
But I think I catch what Grey Pill's saying.
He's saying that you
saying you're going to be hovering over him.
No, you should be able to accept help. That's the truth of the matter. But it's a difference between accepting someone's help and a female directing you. There's a difference in there. And if you don't know what that difference is, that's because you haven't lived life long enough to see that.
Yeah. Real quick, though, it is like 9 o'clock. It is also, 9:01.
Well, it's 12 here. But I got it.
For sophisticated jerks here. So
I got it.
This is a great conversation, man.
Let me let y'all go to bed.
Lola held firm to the scenario, Grey Pill. Yeah, but I think Lola be hovering over you like, motherfucker, you better fix that number right there.
Exactly.
You better get your shit together.
Exactly.
The fuck you doing? You about to blow our money? Stop playing, Lola.
No. Now I do have that attitude, but ain't no man that I'm dealing with asking me what to do. If anything,
I don't know why that shit sound like JP or something. Like, get the fuck out the goddamn bleachers, kids.
First off, I know you didn't compare me to Jay Frisk. I know
No, I'd never do it like that. No, never, Lola.
I know you did. Okay, now I am like that. If I see mine making a mistake, mine ain't about to step on no landmine. But here's the difference: I'm not directing no man's like circumstance. That ain't what I'm doing. What is it?
Sports betting?
What is that? Men. Well, I don't understand.
Oh no, y'all was talking about the West Coast. I'm surprised the Lakers is up right now. I'm sorry, I was just getting ignorant.
Oh, okay.
They beating the shit.
I'm surprised the Lakers is up. Yeah, dragging their ass.
Shit, after they got dragged too. Okay.
There we go. The Lakers fans and the Lakers anti-fans. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not really disagreeing with Great Pill. What I'm saying is there's a subtle difference between asking a woman for direction and allowing her to give you suggestions that you as a man can consider and then say if it works for you. And if you mix that too much, I'm telling you now, the nature of women is going to have her talking left to you all the time. But see, I hear that complaint and I know what that is, but it's like people, again, everybody on the deep end. And all I'm saying is, like this female said, hey, you want to get with me? Hey, you need to do this. And I'm telling you, the reason why both of them is on this extremes is because nobody's talking about it in reality.
I guess so like the overall purpose, right, of this conversation, the moral of this is that, look, for God forbid, do not be dyslexic, okay? Like Rachel. Make sure you choose your words carefully, wisely.
I think you're born with that, but okay.
ask for some type of advice, but in a certain type of way that's not going to piss Lola off. You know what I mean? Or maybe some other women as well too. But make sure that you're not being heavily reliant on this person where she has to be the takeover of your life, because then that's going to like pretty much be a turnoff. And also too, make sure you don't talk back and give her like answers and stuff, because otherwise you'll get muted.
Now y'all acting like I'm the crazy one. I'm trying to help. Okay.
I'm just telling you what I've learned so far for tonight. So I'm just saying that's the moral of the conversation.
That's what I learned too.
Y'all always say we be defending the sisterhood. And
I'll always say this though: Lola looks like a hitter first before she's a quitter, so she'll definitely hit you.
She's definitely right. I think people gotta align more with people. I think you do got to do that to a certain degree, but and then also scenario with the taxes, you probably just need to give the taxes like if for example, like if Lola she does taxes, it's like, you know what? Let me see if she could do the taxes, and I'll go cover down on a different task. So I think that's how households need to come. Like that's her strong suit. She gonna make sure she save the money and stuff and catch stuff. Let me see if she could do this, and I could do another task.
That's not what I was hearing. It was like, hey, don't ask me for shit. You gotta be.
So what? That's how
you gotta direct her.
Yeah,
that's how
you gotta come from a position of power where you're like, man, you better go do these damn taxes, Lola.
Right. That's what I was hearing.
Listen,
can he talk to you like that, Lola?
No, ain't nobody talking to me crazy. Okay? Ain't nobody talking to me crazy. What I'm saying is, if I do taxes for a living, right, I'm gonna help anybody. It don't matter if it's my man, my friend, whoever. I'm gonna help anybody.
Sure.
But what I'm not gonna do is have a man ask me, should he file taxes? Should he do some shit? Like, no, I'll help you in whatever you're doing. If you're doing it, I will help you in it. But I'm not about to direct you, because I know even if I can direct you, to do that is to hurt you. And that's just like, I forgot that sitcom I seen where this guy said he came up to a butterfly and he was like, I can help this butterfly get out of this cocoon because it's hard in there. But if I do, he gonna come out here unreliable to the wild and die early. So what I'm gonna do is be patient, let him struggle and make it on his own so that he can actually live past 2 hours out here in the jungle. And it's the same way. I can help a man to some degree, but I know personally there's certain things I can't do for him because I'm taking away from his manhood if I do it for him. Same thing with my son. I can't go in the bathroom with him and really do that whole man thing.
That's different.
Okay, it's certain things I can't do with my own children, and I put them here, okay, because it's just a respect thing. Like, it's certain things his father has to do, even if he don't have no father. A man has to do that, period. So I can't overstep in that way. Or when I overstep, he'll get used to me overstepping, and then that'll be a different problem in his life.
Jerk trying to go night-night.
All right.
We gotta go to sleep.
That's a good conversation, though. We definitely got to circle back on.
Can I get my final thoughts, though?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I want to be last for my final thoughts.
You want to be last?
Yeah.
You go ahead. We'll close out with you, Gray Pill.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I appreciate Jerk. I was trolling though, but I appreciate you being empathetic and moving the doll out the way. That it was kind of creepy. Appreciate Marcus giving somewhat of a well balanced boys. It was a good tag team, so I appreciate you like always. M3.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. Use better examples than the absolute fucking extreme, because that shit be killing me, bro. I swear to God. I still love you though. I still love you. Jerk. I gotta give it to you, Jerk. You are a very clever person with the questions you ask, because sometimes you be baity with the questions. I ain't gonna lie. I think you the name you gave yourself, a jerk, I think it's spot on. You are a sophisticated jerk. So
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Nice to you on that one. So it will be triggering for me in the future. So I appreciate that. If I ever catch Lola, because I'm hearing a lot of red pill talk from Lola too, a mixture of that. If I ever catch Lola on Fresh and Fucking Fit, I swear to fucking God, Lola, I'm gonna cook the shit out of you with everything in my fiber and being. Also, half the stuff Lola was saying, not all of it, because I was wearing her down. So she didn't give me she went from 80% to 50 to 30. She gave me a good 50-40 split. So this is how you
dropping.
Yeah, it was dropping. So that's how you conversate to people. She ain't agree to it, but again, if I was petty, I'd go back and timestamp everything on this goddamn bitch, everything she said, because she was contradicting the hell out of herself. But it was a conversation where I wore it down, so I appreciate that one. But the other 50%, she was full of shit. It always comes down to your intent on who you would like to get with. If you're married, if you're with child, if you want to get with somebody, whatever. And last but not least, I was kind of trolling, but at the same time not trolling. Somebody like Doctor, the comment she made, yes. If you could do taxes, that's a win for me. If I don't know taxes, help me, nigga, please. Okay? Help me. Teach me some investments.
Give Ray Pill that good direction, you know?
Yeah, that good direction. And I can show where I go with my goddamn money because you helped me gain it. But at the same time, I'll be very appreciative because my woman showed me, taught me, baby, where we going to trips? Because I got it. All right.
Yeah, all right. You appreciative till she get in court and say, "Hey, I taught him half of everything he know." And
She can say it all day, but guess where that money going? In my pocket. All day. Yeah, I'm gonna say it too. Denzel been saying it by his woman. All the other husbands out here, since you're talking about black power, all these other black males, all these black celebrities talking about all this about their women, but guess what? They
The
keep
what
saying,
man and the what woman?
all that money going in their pocket. So thank you, doctor. I'm projecting right here. Thank you, doctor, for giving me all them good credits. Thank you for teaching me how to do good taxes. Thank you for investing. Because baby, all that money going in my pocket. And where you want to go, boo-boo, we going. We going.
Our next live, probably next week or the following week, is Lola racist.
Wow, that'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Well, hold on. I got one last thing to say,
I
right?
ain't say one racist thing.
I gotta say one last thing, right? Just kind of end this, right, with a good laugh. Now, Lola, right? I understand, right? You're anti-direction or whatever, right? And direction will make you want to leave a man.
I'm not. Oh my god!
I'm kind of paraphrasing what you pretty much like just trying to say. But look,
Bro, I just learned 2 new words: anti-direction and minutia.
Yeah. But check me out, right? But here's the thing, right? There's always a silver lining to everything, right? When a woman gets frustrated because you just asked her for direction, right? And now she broke up with you and took half of the things or whatever. Yes, I'm going to extreme great pill. But the good thing is that if that does happen, right, you'll be well equipped for the next woman. And you'll know better not to ask the next woman for direction.
No, you're gonna be scarred, and the next woman is
right, bro. She just said M3. She just said the guys she dated, she learned a little bit from moving forward by hearing them or whatever. And you're saying the same thing. And she's like, nope, you're gonna be scarred.
That's not the same thing. That's not the same.
So basically, it's a difference. Like, see, what she's saying is that it's okay for the guys to give her direction, right? Because that's our.
Now that's different. It's okay for a guy to come in my life and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and he totally direct me. That's one thing. I can.
No, I directed you earlier. You shut me down.
No. If a man come in my life and I don't know what the fuck to do, and he tell me every single thing to do, and that shit work out, I respect him. But if I have to tell him every single thing for him to know what the fuck to do, and he my leader, it don't work the same, Great Pill. I don't care what you say.
Hey, did a woman on this panel, a black woman, ask on this panel, and I gave an answer, and the black woman cut me off and shut me down? Did that not just happen on this panel? I'm just confused as hell.
I'm leaving this country, man.
Hey, yo, this is the greatest auntie goodbye that has ever existed in life. Man.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm gonna say this to wrap this up, but I'm gonna spend another 20 minutes talking to you, nappy head.
That's what they do here, bro. That's exactly what they do here. I'm the only one be trying to encourage it, like, yo, hit that button, hit that button.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, I ain't trying to throw like jerk under the bus, right? But a lot of these questions that lead on to
Church has been trying to go to sleep for the last 30 minutes, but okay.
Sometimes I don't even know, man, because you do be asking a lot of good, like thought-provoking questions. phone like the live stream when you do that.
No, it's both of you. I blame both of y'all because Jerk be asking him questions like he know what the hell he be doing, and he know Jerk know to be looking at the time. He know the time frame, and then you too nice with your ass, and you be like, "Yo, let's we cool, man, we cool. Let's keep it going." And you know your panel. I know my panel. Like if I see Lola coming on and she's the longest stroking goddamn person on the panel, I know they're gonna cut off like a little bit shave off the top.
I'm not on.
I know they're gonna shave off
like no offense, Lola. If you were air traffic control, that plane is never landing. Like those passengers are screwed.
Hey,
That's
like,
a
they're
lot of
fucked.
diesel.
Right now,
That's a lot of
the
diesel.
clip that is gonna get the most views on this platform is the day that Jerk wife finally come in there and be like, "All right, I'm tired of this shit. Get the fuck off the computer." The day she come in there, and
Yes, I'm waiting for Jerk to do that. Shut the hell up. Let's go.
Hey, if y'all need a hike in views, just go ahead and stage that real quick. If y'all need a quick hike in views, just stage that real quick.
No,
But watch, man. Man, you gotta hit us up. Let us know when you go live, man, so we can jump up on your panel.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah, see, the time I only go week. I only schedule one live a week right now, and that's when everybody and their mama on. So I don't even be really telling people about it. I just put the content out and let y'all come to it later. But when I start getting more active,
I've
more
been
than one
here
day a
2
week,
years. You ain't said nothing.
Yeah, he'll turn his live on. I think he be looking at
You know what she
everybody
meant?
jammed up
100
on
watts.
purpose.
She just asked you to lead her
You know
to your
what?
panel.
You know why I'm gonna headbutt Lola? It's because for a whole year and a half, I was doing live panels with Chef Vic. I was doing panels with what's her just Kaya. I was doing panels with everybody for a solid. These niggas over here, knowledge and relationships. I've been floating around. Me and you been came across each other, and you've been on my.
I don't think you're caught, 100.
I never.
She wants you to lead her to your channel.
No, stop. See, I never knew you had a channel. And see, that's the thing. You've been doing lives, but I didn't.
Hey, watch. She been too busy beefing with people on them streets. You said a year, right? That's a whole year of her beef with all these random people on these platforms. That's why she never hit your panel, bro.
What's this? It's 5.
Lola
This
be
is
out here
5 years
beefing.
now at this point. I'm on my 3rd channel in the last 5 years.
Now, mind you, he's talking about all the beef I've been in. He had every cookout though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit. Great panel.
All right, we closing out for real.
I don't be on the cookouts. I be getting the invites to the cookout. I'm like, I'll watch her on the bushes.
Oh, you be at the cookout. You
I'm
be at.
putting up. I'm going live.
I didn't know
I'm
he
finna
had a
give them-
chance.
I'm still active. Y'all fuck with me if y'all want to. If not, y'all have a great night.
Listen. You don't want to all of us.
All right, 100. Focus on your purpose, man.
All right, M3, let's close it out.
You know what, Marcus? This why.
But by the way, Callie won. She gave them chicks to smoke.
Yes, she did.
She gave them that work. So
she did.
I need to go back and watch that shit.
You do.
Yeah, you check out both clips.
I need to go check that shit out because I right from what I'm hearing.
You ain't hear nothing. You came in last minute.
I said that. That's why I said I gotta go back and watch. But from what I'm hearing, it's like
You heard the IG girl just run her down.
both of them are canceling each other out at this point. So
I think you gave good insight to it, but yeah, like if you go back and watch like what they were saying, they was all over the place. They wasn't connecting any dots. But when you gave the like psyche, it's like that's okay. That makes sense.
I will give you that because you gave a whole different perspective. Like I just canceled her out at that point. I'm like,
yeah, you hear them talking like before you came in, was giving your perspective. It was some gold digger shit. That's what it was.
not gold digger shit.
Yeah, it was straight up gold digger. It was about that cash. It wasn't like the thoughts you put to the levels. Yeah, because when you started saying it, I'm like, damn, okay, Lola kind of right.
Yeah, our conversation was better than theirs. It was just more all both versus one, and it just went left. It went so left.
See, I have a different perspective of why I don't like gold diggers. It ain't because they're gold diggers. It's really just because
I like gold diggers. Don't be honest.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Gold digging is the central part of patriarchy, and you are playing right into it.
Yeah, I'm out.
A gold digger. That's a gold digger says, I don't have resources, so I have to do what women do to placate to the certain things that men like, so I can just get resources. And it's like in a society where you equally have a chance to educate yourself, get jobs, get resources, all of that. Why are you still acting like it's 2000 BC where you gotta shake something to make a little change? Like,
Yeah, but to be fair though, the world we live in now, a lot of quote unquote gold diggers don't even have to shake anything. They could just go ahead and just go on like what I forgot the name, but they have like phone services people. They don't a lot of them don't even do the cam girl thing. It's phone services people say what guys want to hear, they make a buck.
But it's
Most of them do the deep clicks.
Patriarchy. It's still the patriarchy. You need to get in a man's ear and tell him what he need to hear. You need to shake something for a man. You need to be naked because that's how men want to see you. All this shit.
But again,
this is how men historically have enslaved women, and in 2025, that's the only way you can get money. Really?
Okay, what about if the gold digger said, "Hey, I got all the education. This ain't it, and I'd rather just do the gold digging, not the naked part." But
if you rather be a gold digger, right, instead of getting your own money and being your own woman, it just says you're lazy and you're okay with the patriarchy. So here's the thing: stop complaining, because when I see your gold digging ass complaining, I'm gonna have more choice words for you than the niggas on the pants.
Some gold diggers don't complain. Some gold diggers say, "Hey, well, these are what the men want. I'm happy with it, and I'm okay."
If you're happy with it, don't complain about how men are or how they treat you or don't treat you.
Okay, real quick, right? I gotta do a quick pause real quick. So Ball TV, thank you for coming up. But we are about to close out. You can feel free to hang afterwards, Ball TV and Lola and Gray Pill and Marcus. But I will have to wrap this up though. But salute to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Quan says, MP, you might as well mute, turn the camera off. Okay, but I will shut the live off right now. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. But again, we could also talk in the after party. Well, y'all could talk. I'm about to go to sleep and maybe pop some more allergy medicines.
I'm not going to sleep.
No, you ain't going to sleep, Lola. You gonna still be arguing back and forth. I know y'all want more people. But look, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out, everybody. And stay tuned for our next lives coming up later.
Later.
Knowledge and relationships